Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. I am Razim and this is Fists of Furry Dungeons and Dragons. Last time we left off with, well, the party unleashed the undead hordes on the surface above. They also released the King in Copper from his basically jail cell.
How did we do that?
I do not remember performing this particular action. If you could kindly explain the premise of that accusation, sir.
Oh, it's quite simple. You remember that door that you unlocked?
Nope. I've got nothing.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't remember. But
Can you convict a
Tato,
man of a crime he doesn't remember committing?
I said yes. Continue.
they unleashed the King in Copper, a lich that died many, many years ago. He was... Well, actually, he didn't really die. He just
He wasn't
kind
a
of...
lich that died. He was a red
Fell into
wizard of
undead.
Fae that died, and then became a lich.
No,
He
he
still
fell
didn't
into
die.
undeath many years ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
You see what
Yeah, it's
really
possible to
happened
become a
was
lich without actually dying in the
Yeah.
technical sense.
He was all
Actually,
like,
I
you know
think
what?
that's
hate
the only
everyone.
way to become one. I don't think you can
Oh,
just...
yes, but it's
Thought
the
it
same
was
as
a
stopping your
necro-
heart for a minute. It's
I thought
technically you
being
still
a lich
survive.
was like a necromancer who ascended or something.
No. If Shenzi becomes a lich, we've got serious problems.
No, if Shenji becomes a lich, we have serious problems. For one, it is not possible to become without fully crossing over into the evil alignment.
Yeah, because you kind of have to, you know, in order to remain a lich, you have to keep sacrificing innocence to your blah blah. Phylactery.
Not just by any rules I've read, but it does usually require the sacrifice of an innocent, often a child or younger, to make the phylactery in the first place.
In 5th edition, it is that they, in order to maintain their bodies, basically.
That's new.
It doesn't have to happen too terribly often, hence the reason he's still around. If they do stop sacrificing the innocents, then their bodies will wither away and they will become little more than a very powerful, angry soul.
So, an angry old man with power.
Sure.
And sausages. Don't forget the sausages.
I mean, you can't go wrong with sausage.
Hey there,
Well, you
Cap
can,
Lily.
but
Thank
you
you
know
for
that.
joining. Hello, Aenir, Dragon Kobold, and all of the rest of you watching. Thanks for stopping by.
We will see
Anyways.
Cat Lily again when we make it to the ball.
Yes, we will see
You
her
can't
again.
Get off my lawn! Thunder.
Anyways, Dova, it is time for combat. Everybody,
Excellent.
do be sure to roll initiatives.
I would like to remind you that I rolled a stealth of 22 prior to this combat.
We should probably
Last
clear out everyone's initiative. Or does it just
No, let's just, they can re-roll and it'll apply the new one.
Mm-hmm. It's the great thing about the combat tracker.
And Nim rolls a nat 20.
I know, Enzo. I do not know why those health dots are so massive. They weren't on the previous map. This one's just like, I'm gonna randomly decide to make these huge.
But now we know exactly how healthy they are.
Yeah, you got a big green button.
And now I
Exactly.
won't underestimate everyone's health and be like, oh god, healing. And I'm not healing Tatum.
Why not?
Ahem. Do I need to remind you of the self-inflicting pains you've been put on yourself?
And the fact that you attempted to crush both Elysian and a very necrotic mushroom.
Oh no, those things don't bother me as much because that's clumsy people for one. But I'm talking about the fact that he kept applying damage while the team applied damage. So he was constantly near death the entire fight.
Well, I didn't know the DM was applying damage too. I thought we just did that to ourselves.
We have never done that to ourselves. Damage was practically always applied automatically. I've never damaged myself.
I wasted almost all my heal spells just trying to keep you alive, Tato.
You may restore half of your spell slots because of Tato's
Oh no, you already had me
specialness.
reset it. You had me reset it so that I used the first tick mark of all of them. Like
Specialness.
I'm -1 on all my spells.
Yes, and now I'm telling you to go ahead and give yourself back half of them.
Okay, I'll take away 2 tick.
If you're wanting to argue, I mean...
No, I mean, I'm kind of confused as to how do I get half the spell slot back, half of the back when there's 3. There's
Then you get 2.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Sim is often a benevolent god and is providing you the rounding up rule.
Okay.
I usually go with rounding down because I'm mean.
Try to be nice and you argue with me.
I wasn't even arguing. I just said, how do I round up from, how do I round 3? Wait.
And now he's arguing some more.
He's not arguing.
According to
with
base
you.
mathematics, 3 divided by 2 is 1.5, which rounds up to 2.
Okay.
Anyways, this combat will be mostly run by Dova. Dova, if you could go release Shenzi, I will go ahead and play for her this session.
Who? Elysian?
Shenzi.
None of the... They don't have that name on this.
Shenzi Bone Chomp. So it's right there.
Oh, in the P... Okay, I thought you were like, release it up in the top corner.
Oh no, that they have to release that.
Forgot about. Okay.
Letting go of myself, thank you.
Oh, there you go. Clear owner. Okay. There we go.
Alright, so first up would be me, I suppose.
And with a chord progression that nearly almost feels as though it's just collapsing the cave, the organ begins to groan as the various twisted forms of Furbies begin to stutteringly make their way towards the group. It's Bone Chomp's turn.
We technically
There's
have
two
bone
bone
chomps. You do
chomps.
need to
Oh,
specify.
Nim. Sorry.
And Nim
I
took the name
completely
Bone
forgot.
Chomp upon his marriage to Shenzi.
Oh.
Yes, it is. It is Nim's turn.
Nim will charge and go for the bones. Typical
Bone
K9
Chomp, get it?
prerogative.
Yeah, but these bones are extra nasty. Nasty bones.
Not necessarily. Usually
Again,
skeletons have...
typical K9 prerogatives. Actually, they are often described as having ropes of rotting flesh hanging from them.
That would be a zombie.
No,
These are
zombies
much
have
more
rotting
well
flesh
bleached.
all about them. But these are very old bones. They're more likely dusty with some kind of mold growing on them.
The only thing on them is very tattered remains of some sort of clothing. Can't tell exactly, what faction or what kind of clothing it might have been in the past.
He's going to cast, use bonus action to cast Divine Favor. And then bite.
Go ahead and roll to attack.
Gotta do this, and then there. Bite.
All right, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
And it's gone already.
Wow.
That,
Skeletons are really weak. Hey, they're
As
just kind
Nim-
of extra there.
As Nim chomps down on the rib cage of the first skeleton and just shakes his head violently. Every other bone that was connected to the rib cage is now no longer so. As you hear a number of clacking noises from the bones hitting the ground as well as falling into the small crevice next to you. That skeleton is definitely undead. There you go. All right, is that your turn?
It is his turn. Yes.
All right. It is now that skeleton's turn. And it is going to immediately go up and attack Zale.
It beats a stealth roll of 22.
Oh, right, you're stealthing. Forgot about that.
I took a lot of effort to gain advantage on that particular skill. Thank you very much.
He worked hard to be that good.
Yeah, it's not. I
That's
ain't gonna
despite
do
his
that.
luck.
Could you give me a dexterity saving throw, please, though?
Uh-huh.
As you're able to prevent. Basically, the skeleton walks almost directly into you. But you're able to kind of sidestep at the very last moment as its kind of shuddering movements make it hard to tell exactly where it was going. Do you want to trip it, perhaps?
Nah.
All right. Then you would not actually get an attack of opportunity, since it is still within your range. It is going to make a rather shaky swing towards Azeroth.
Clearly, these are bargain skeletons. Unlike Gib.
Do remember that Azeroth did say earlier that he has no AC?
He has no AC.
Yes, he has no AC.
I'm
So-
at my house.
So all
it's-
but nat
okay.
ones hit him, no matter what.
So yeah, that does miss, as it basically just clangs on. Or I'm sorry, you're a cleric. So yeah, that would basically just clang off of your pauldron, leaving a few very dim sparks kind of just flickering to the ground. It is your turn again, though, Azeroth.
Haha. I shall attack. Seeing as no one is in here.
Remember that bludgeoning deals ×2 damage.
Hoo-ha. I roll on the skeleton. Do a hit.
That would hit.
Huzzah. Damage.
Very nice. As you just sort of look at the little scuff on your pauldron where the skeleton hit you, you raise your hand in the air with the Morning Star and slam down on it. It kind of stumbles backwards a little bit. Basically, the entire left half of its body gone and just kind of scattered on the ground.
Woohoo.
As it makes some very threatening and angry clacking noises.
That means it can't walk right now, right? If half of its body is gone.
It depends. It has very interesting ways of propelling itself. Maybe.
Is it hopping on one leg? That'll be funny.
It is pretty exotic, yeah. But yeah, basically it's just perched up on its right leg right now.
Maybe using the sword as a crutch and just kind of, hey.
Well, that
Yeah,
was-
well, you know, he's
Yeah, they don't
He's-
actually have a lot of meat on them. It's very easy to balance that little weight.
all right. Get it? Get it? He's all right.
Yep, I put in my
Alright.
turn.
It's gonna take a legendary action.
Oh, dear.
+5 to hit. Nim, what's your AC?
19.
As you look up in time to see almost a shimmering mote appear right directly in front of the organ and streak towards you. As you sidestep out of the way, it slams into the rock cavern wall behind you, leaving a vibrating resonance in the air. I believe it is Zale's turn.
Zale is going to move. Would you like another stealth check for that, or maintain it?
Do you know what you rolled before?
22. I wrote it down, actually.
I'd say yes. Roll another stealth check now that you're actually within.
Okay. I will need
range
to
of an
roll that
enemy.
before I move, as I am passing another foe en route.
Yep.
One moment, my hot keys are no longer accurate. Oops. No, that's fine.
All right.
He has a move of 35, which gets him there. And he is going to cast Darkness, centered on the organ.
What level spell is that?
It is a 2nd level evocation.
All right.
Okay.
As you cast the incantation, as you sort of suck the light out of the area where the organ is, there's a brief clicking noise as you very faintly spy Oswald reaching up and snapping his finger as he spends to counterspell. Since that is less than since that is not above a 4th level spell slot, it is instantly nullified.
You are not
spell
wrong,
slot is
but
cast.
it was worth it for him to try.
There you go.
That is the end of Zale's turn. Bonus action to remain hidden. Action
Can I counter
to
the counter spell?
cast.
Yes, you actually can.
Can I counter it with silence?
No.
Oh,
You could attempt casting Silence next turn, but
I will.
What? A counterspell can be counterspelled.
I've never
Why?
counterspelled before. How does that work?
it's a spell.
Yes. It's a spell that can be cast as a reaction, in reaction to seeing somebody else cast a spell.
But I can't do it with silence.
No. Silence is not
A
a
counter
reaction.
spell is specific, and Silence is an action to cast, not a reaction, so it would have to be on your turn.
Okay.
Precisely. All right. It's one of the Furby Swarm's turns. As they are going to start to advance towards the rest of the group. It's the one directly in front of the organ at the moment. What's their speed? 30 feet? They can make it. One, two, three, four, five. There we go.
Question. Since the Furbies are attached to the organ, can you sever the connection?
You can certainly try. As there
Okay.
is sort of this continuously coiling, almost sort of a greenish copper tarnish color. The actual line itself is hard to actually look at, as it seems to be phasing in and out. But it seems to exist, yes. Whether or not it's able to be cut by mundane means is not known.
Okay.
As the Furby swarm basically engulfs Nim.
Oh my.
And basically just peck at you with their numerous jagged beaks and claws.
You poor boy.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
What's your AC?
You can roll on me, you know.
I did, but I want to ask.
It's a 19 still.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, as the Furbies basically engulf you. Your armor thankfully protects you from most of the damage, as only a few kind of nips get through and pull out little bits of your fur. As you can hear nothing but a strange cacophony of warbled sort of chirping noises. It is Elysian's turn.
Okay, so we've got a Nim that we should probably try and get out of there. I'm going to assume because these are undead, technically, maybe. Either way, I'm going to use the 10-foot pole against them.
You gonna try to poke him?
No, I'm going to slap them a lot.
Okay.
Which Furby Swarm is that? That's Furby Swarm 1. So
Yes.
I'm going to just try and bluntly crush as many as I can.
The quarterstaff. Sure. You basically take it and both at the same time pry them off of Nim as well as kind of smashing them on the ground. How many of them are there? Oh. Yeah, that would hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. And I can use my I can use a sneak attack, right?
I believe so. One of your allies is definitely within 5 feet. Probably less than 5 feet.
Yeah, I'm just more asking because of last session with how we didn't exactly know sneak attack could apply.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Yeah,
as
get
you
a few more jabs off.
as you start to pick apart the swarm, two of them you basically knock off of Nim and smash with the end of your quarterstaff, as they basically break into a collection of various, will look to be body parts and even some little bits of clockwork. However, the swarm engulfing Nim is still quite strong. In regards to the clockwork, that is not their main construction, but you do find little cogs and small metal pieces inside, maybe staples or stitches.
They don't seem to be woolly flesh and blood.
The Furbies are a monstrosity of both machine and flesh.
They
are a cross between a construct and undead.
Well, we know that now, so does anybody have anything that's effective against them?
Shenzi might be able to try to control one if she hadn't used the skull already, but
Mhm.
gods, why?
We could
They
try
are
to
not
yank
actually
off-
considered either of those types, though.
That's why I said try.
Might as well try. We'll figure out something.
We could
She
try
can't
to
use
yank
it
off
again.
the thing that the Furbies are attached to. I doubt it's that strong. Especially if more than one of us are pulling. Maybe we can yank the whole organ off, have it crash down. It's up on a raised platform, right?
Taito, what's your strength score?
Yes, it is on a slightly raised platform.
My
Sort of
strength
a
score, 13.
cracked stone.
Yeah, you're
Uh,
probably one of the highest in the group outside of. I don't think Nim has that much strength either. Blue Dude might be our strongest, and Zale has a penalty, so no, we're not pulling
I
that
have
thing over.
16 with the +3 modifier.
Is that going to
My
be your turn,
strength-
Elysian?
I'm actually the weakest. I'm 13 strength, but
Oh no, Zale is the weakest.
Oh, okay. I'm the second.
Trust me, he's wimpier than Shenzi.
Yeah, she's
Elysian,
like-
is that your turn?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I forgot to press the thing. I remembered the last session to keep doing it, and this session I forgot again.
Pass the furry.
Here we go. All right. It is going to. Could you give me a Constitution saving throw, Zale?
Well, I can give it to you. I don't promise I'll make it. Hey, that wasn't bad.
That doesn't make it.
13 being my lucky number and all.
All right. That you have failed. You are going to take 5 points of psychic damage as a haunting, screeching sort of solo begins to emerge from the dirge that the organ is currently making. Tato, could you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Absolutely. I rolled an 8 again. Wow. That seems to be like the only number I roll anymore is 8.
Curse of the 8s.
You take 7 points of psychic damage.
Dova?
Yeah?
Oh, wait, never mind.
Oh, yeah, you... Oh, do you still need to use the laptop?
I do. Just remember to read the multi-attack section there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I did see it.
Okay.
All right, and that is...
Do need it for a sec, because I forgot.
I do have a question. Is this recursive?
What do you mean?
Can this just keep going?
It can, however, it can only... Basically, it could potentially hit every member of the party,
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
but only once per turn.
Yes. Asaroth, could you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Give me... Well, actually, he is in there. Let me... Where is he? There he is. I forgot about a friend that I've got.
All right, that makes it. The cycle ends. As Tato, for some reason, you feel an intense headache. You kind of look over and you see actually no, you wouldn't see Zale. He's basically invisible. As a whining, screeching sound can be heard, sort of washing in over the deep notes of the organ.
Tato will attempt to stick his thumbs in his ear holes.
That would require you to drop whatever you're holding.
It's true.
Not if it's just a thumb.
No, especially if it's say a two-handed weapon, like I don't know, a spear.
I'm not
It's
holding
just
the
a stick.
spear. Right
Oh
now.
well. As you kind of go to cover your ears, the sound already fades, and you're left with a ringing headache.
Oh,
Ow.
that's how you get tinnitus.
As the organ is going to make one further attack against Shenzi. I apologize, I'm dealing with like 10 seconds refresh times. What's Shenzi's AC? Because I don't think that's really low.
She's a wizard. It
Oh,
kind
okay.
of,
Yeah.
and I don't think anybody's bothered to have mage armor cast on her, so
She doesn't bother with any of that stuff, really.
Alright, well, I've rolled it, and I'm just waiting to actually see what happens.
You should cast mage armor on yourself more often, though.
He doesn't even have the spell to cast it.
Wow.
Alright, as Shenzi's going to take 12 points of damage from almost a small sliver of resonating air that rapidly streaks out of the organ and directly into her thigh.
ow.
That's going to be the organ's turn. It is now one of the skeleton's turns, I believe. Yes. Which one is it? As soon as I can
To the
see
north of me.
it's going to help out that Furby Swan.
Or perhaps a vengeance, brother.
That too.
Come on, skeleton. Come hit me.
Oh, I missed the skeleton, and now it's waiting like 15 seconds to refresh. While the map moves.
I can go ahead and do some of that stuff myself.
That would certainly help.
I have been chosen by the big
Oh,
metal
crap.
hand
Why
in the
does that
sky.
sound back? I'm sorry, guys. 1 sec. Gotta actually plug in a mouse so I can control it. There we go. Alright. The heck is going on here? There it goes. Something happened when you did that. So it's gonna attack Nim.
Yes.
That would be a miss. Just let me know if you need help on that stuff, so.
Alright. Thankfully I won't have to deal with much of that at the moment because it's now your guys' turn. It's going to be Skeleton Jib's turn.
Skeleton
Jibby.
Jib, being controlled by Shenzi, will move up and attack Skeleton 4. Sorry, Skeleton
get
Gib.
Gib. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you get Gib killed, Shenzi will never forgive us.
No, she won't. We might wind
It was
up.
my first undead! I finally got an undead and you guys killed him!
She might very well. Hey, that's a crit.
Go Gib.
She might very well use us to replace Gib.
Oh.
That's the only response you can give us.
I'm trying to decide who would be the most appropriate. When making a skeleton, at least in Pathfinder, you want natural strength. So Zale's out along... Actually, Elysian, I think you're the best bet. You're a decent size, but not too large, and you have the best strength amongst us.
Anyways,
Plus.
Skeleton Gib. Neck wound, triple damage.
So, off with the head.
Pretty much.
Go get it. Go get it.
Skeleton Gib.
It's your death day. It's your death day.
Really?
Oh, he
It
did
swing.
die.
It pushes out with its short sword. Yeah, chopping off the skeleton's head at the neck, dealing 21 points of damage. If I can find it, there it is. Yeah, that thing's beyond dead.
It was so dead for a moment it was at full health.
Kato, come on down.
I'm actually going on up.
Actually, it's probably sloped downwards, so...
Is it? Oh. Okay, I'll come on down then.
I would imagine we have been descending into the earth thus far. Give it
I'm
60-40
going
odd slopes.
to point at like the upper center of the Furby Organ. So around where the music would come out. And I'm gonna cast Silence.
You're gonna cast silence on the organ? Don't
I
believe-
hope it works, but something
It does.
tells me it's not going to work.
You can certainly try.
The very
did it.
nature of the organ, it seems to glow with a dark greenish aura. Your circle of silence, the area around it, seems to just not be affected by it. You can tell beyond that the silence does impact the area, but directly surrounding it and the organ itself, it does not work.
Oh. So I just wasted a spell slot. Great.
Well, we learned something.
Yeah, true.
Nothing is ever wasted, except breath and space on this earth.
I like both.
Okay, I'll end my turn from there.
I vote Shensley takes her action to hug Gib. Because he just did awesome. I would say maybe a bonus action.
I've got other
Maybe a head
plans.
pat for the bonus action. Come on. Gib deserves that.
Fine, she'll head pat him.
Thank you.
And she will move over to here. And throw... she'll throw a necrobolt at the Furby Swarm 2.
Those which are currently hugging her bestest friend ever.
She never actually upgraded this. I don't know why she's got it labeled as plus. I think she might have accidentally added that. I'm gonna delete it. That would miss, I believe. Oh no, that does hit. Okay. Okay, so let me fix her spell real quick. Because it's 2d10 now. The necrobolt flies and slams into Furby Swarm 2. Going right through several of them, disintegrating them on impact. Before the necrobolt fizzles out on the last one. Silver, Nim's quote-unquote steed, will attack Furby Swarm 1. The one on top of his owner. And he does have advantage due to pack tactics. And he rolled a 10 for both dice. But it still hits, so...
Give him some slack. This is his first time fighting with the pack.
For minimum damage.
How incredibly mediocre.
We're just gonna move on from that. Back to you, Dova.
All right. The skeleton is going to, having not seen Zale, evidently, start to assault the rest of the party. I'm going to have that lowered down.
You wanna fight, mate? You wanna fight? You wanna fight?
With me?
You wanna fight? Come on.
Is going to attack Tato
It wants to fight.
as it swings a rusty almost a bronze-colored short sword. And crits.
Lovely. What's the card say?
Let me
Critical.
refresh the crit as soon as the screen refreshes.
Screen is slow.
I timed it at about 20 seconds.
He's using TeamViewer. I don't know why it is being so slow for him. There's really nothing
Are you
being
getting, like-
used.
What about Steam?
I closed Steam as well, but
Okay.
there's no reason you should be having anything. At least nothing. No reason on my end.
Mm-hmm.
Still, everything actively using the internet that I can turn off is now off. So,
But yes, that still was a crit with a. That was a melee since you're looking
a
for
crit.
enemy. Yes.
It's fails that I need to know if it's melee and such. Otherwise, it's still
Oh,
damage type.
Slashing.
I never opened this deck. There we go. Oh,
Do they smell factory fresh?
no. Ragged Scar.
Oh.
Your lovers ain't gonna love you no more, boy.
You receive a permanent scar on your face, and you gain proficiency in Charisma Intimidation, but lose proficiency in Charisma Persuasion if you had it.
Thankfully, I didn't.
Well, now you've got a scar on your face, and you get proficiency
Well,
in Intimidation.
really like scars.
Ow!
This is the summation of my character in the Wednesday group.
My squishy face.
I gave
Okay.
him the fell brand drawback with a heavily scarred face and a charisma penalty, and he still married the princess.
We'll let you decide where the scar is on your face, but, you know.
Oh, that depends on how.
And I would like to know right now.
How did the skeleton swing his sword?
It was a sort of a jabbing motion that, at the last moment, he kind of stumbled and went directly upwards, almost going behind your guard.
So it's like got to be embedded in my cheek, and then it goes up a little towards my eye, and then out.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how it is then.
As a rather surprising amount of blood starts to gush from the, we'll say the left side of your face.
Is normal
Okay.
damage, so
Yes.
I
Go ahead
will
and roll damage
message
on that.
the artist for our group picture to let her know.
So I just gained proficiency in
Oh.
intimidation. Cool.
All right, the Fantasy Grounds has evened out. I'm sorry, Team Viewer. I don't know what that. Yeah, that was like more than 10-second refresh times at times, but now it seems to be okay. It is going to be one of the Furby Swarm's turn. Furby Swarm number 3. As you watch them, Zale, they kind of twitch, and some of them start to look over in your direction. As you hear a very almost a crooked note resonate very deeply in your bones.
May I offer an insight check to determine what is causing this?
Go ahead.
I've got a feel for this one.
You feel as though someone's watching you.
Mm-hmm.
That someone in particular, as you sort of observing, seems to be the player of the organ itself.
Yes, and I give him that little "yes, I'm watching you too" motion.
As you do so, one of the swarms basically
It
completely
takes
engulfs
a
you.
moment before they land to turn it into a very rude and crude gesture native to the streets of Molemaster.
Ah. As a very shrill cacophony of basically chirping, squeaking, and yelling directly next to you and surrounding you. Could you give me a wisdom saving throw?
Technically. Nope.
I expected you to kind of make this. Oh, well.
This is Zale we're talking about. He has 0 luck.
You are now considered stunned until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
As your only resort is to almost hunch your back and cover your ears with both of your paws, let's say. I wasn't sure. where to go
Let's
with the
assume
hands or
that the
paws.
notes combined from the organs and the Furbies are triggering some heavily but unsuccessfully repressed memories in his past.
Exactly. You're basically having flashbacks right now. If this was a movie, it would be in monochrome. The other Furby swarms are also going to act. They're going to start making their way towards the group proper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, not right there. Right there. I left go the wrong button. This one is actually going to remain close to the organ. Instead, kind of throwing very rude, sort of inflammatory jabs at you all. Which you can sort of understand the intent behind them, but you can't exactly get what the insults are. They seem to be very cruel. It is going to be Nim's turn.
How can anybody say that about Mother? Oh my god, they're cruel.
Basically like a swarm of toddlers.
And let's
Once they know how to get under your skin, by God, they're under your skin.
And let's not forget those comments directed at your former wife and Tato's grandmother. It's just horrible. Absolutely horrible.
You were never her
No
husband.
holds barred. Nim, it's your turn.
We haven't confirmed that.
She never married.
They were husband and wife at heart.
Nice lady.
Nim is going to bite at the Furby swarm.
All right.
Where did you learn such language, children?
Actually, oh wait, that's a concentration. Never mind. Actually. Yeah, he'll keep going with a bite. Wait, does this, That's each creature. I don't want to do it to allies, so... Yeah, just gonna bite.
Alright. Go ahead and roll to attack.
Give him advantage because of pack tactics.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
And he is going to use a Divine Smite.
All right.
My pimps.
As you bite down on one of them, you pump a little bit of divine energy into your jaw, and actually the one that you bit down explodes in a glowing burst of radiance. Bits of shrapnel from the Furby actually impale like 2 or 3 others that are currently climbing around you and also scurrying along the ground. This leaves a very unpleasant taste in your mouth. It tastes, unironically, like copper.
Don't underestimate Nim's taste buds. He enjoys interesting
Very
meats.
odd things.
Exotic meats, we'll call them that.
He also likes rolling in mud.
I see.
He doesn't roll
So
in
it's
mud.
like that then.
Yeah, it wasn't mud. Sorry.
I meant blood.
Blood is good, yes. Blood is great.
Hello.
Anyways,
Is that
on
going
to
to your
us.
turn? Oh, yes. Azeroth, it is your turn.
Okay. I decide.
For what it's worth, you can now determine exactly where Zale is.
I mean, does anyone really need healing? No. Okay, good.
Zale's screaming. Does that help?
That is indeed.
Blood is
something
gushing
that's-
from my face!
That is. I don't know. You're kind of facing the other way.
I don't know. Last time you were bleeding to death.
But you would see a lot of it on the ground.
I don't know. How do I know you didn't scratch yourself to make you bleed more?
To be fair, of all of us here, the most heavily damaged is Furby Swarm 1.
For real.
But I'm pretty sure that since it's technically undead, you could heal it and it would damage it with healing.
Yeah, but that'd
Is that how it works?
That'd be such a waste, and I would have to touch it. I mean, really, I don't want to touch it. You want to touch
Oh
it?
yeah, good point. I don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
Get rid of this skeleton in front of me. That would be good.
You don't want personal vengeance against the one who ruined your good looks?
LOL.
Nah,
I'll move down
battle
here.
scars are one of those things that you earn.
You better attack.
In 5th edition, Cure Wounds does not do damage to undead.
Oh.
It simply has no effect on undead or constructs.
Oh. That's disheartening.
Well, he still
Which
gets a-
coincidentally are what both are a combination of both of those are what these things are.
Oh, wait. Where is my weapon? Oh, there it is. It's always the last. Anyways.
Ooh.
I guess
That's a
I don't
crit.
even have to ask.
Go ahead and roll to attack again to clear the crit tracker.
Wait,
Roll
the attack,
another
not damage?
attack.
Okay.
Otherwise, it'll use the multiplier for your damage that may not match the card you're getting.
Well, it'll just roll double dice.
Yes, which may not match the card.
Question. So then I roll on my damage?
There you go. No, don't roll. Well, yes, roll damage, but roll it in the chat. Do not roll it on the creature.
Oh.
Because we handle crits differently than base.
Very
All
nice.
right. So for piercing damage, a rap on the knuckles, quadruple damage.
That would kill it. So
Nice one.
I'll just kill it right away. Is there any other effects?
Nope, that's it.
All right. As you slam your Morning Star down directly on the top of its head, the force basically shattering it onto the ground, throwing bones everywhere.
Nim would like to just magically grab one out of the air.
That'll be your reaction.
I said magically.
Yes, that would be a reaction.
No,
That'd be
it just
it's
happens.
Mage Hand, my man.
I don't have mage hand.
Magically.
We'll have it so that one of them falls, and actually lodges itself in your armor. We'll go with that.
That doesn't help me. I can't
Well, you
chew
have
on
your
it
bone.
there.
Well, you can get it
You
out
can
later.
get your bestest friend forever to get it out for you later.
Yeah.
And Tato, no. A Morning Star is... A mace does bludgeoning damage, but a Morning Star technically does piercing because it's got a bunch of spikes on the ball on the end.
Wouldn't it do both then?
No.
They only
no.
do one damage type per weapon.
Yeah, plus, spikes and hit you before the actual bludgeoning.
Sure.
Is that going to be your turn?
I'm free to do something else. So I'm gonna stand here and not do anything. Because if I do anything, then.
Alright.
Yep, ending.
Zale,
Skip
your
me.
turn.
I have no turn, I
You
am
are
stunned.
stunned as the note starts to, or sorry, the sort
Memories.
of a wretched resonance starts to fade. So do the memories again.
The screaming
as
will
you-
die down at the end of the turn as the memories fade entirely.
Mhm.
He's clutching at his chest, by the way.
As the Furbies around you start to claw at your ankles,
Oh, I know that look.
almost
It's PTSD.
Wow, drama queen.
1,000-yard stare over there.
PTSD. I called it.
All right. The Furbies surrounding you, Nim, are going to bite at you. They are going to miss violently. Elysian, it's your turn.
Elysian right now has a lot of options. I'm deciding what to do. Should probably go and try and free Nim first from Furby Swarm because Nim is good at fighting and better to have all the support he can because last battle he got KO'd, so I'm going to switch to my rapier because I forgot when I got the upgrade rape. What session did we get the upgrade rape?
Probably the one after we sued Milt, didn't he?
Yes.
Get upgrade what?
He got a new rapier, I believe.
He said.
No, he
update
didn't.
rape. Kept saying
You
rape.
know?
I didn't? Because my rapier's changed and I didn't change it.
Don't look at me.
Because it used to be just rapier and now it's rapier Elysian, so.
Yeah, I would assume that you renamed it at one point when going through all of your sturf.
I guess so.
It's not a magic
Either-
item. It does nothing more than just a rapier.
I mean,
Okay.
you named your
Well,
quarterstaff
I'm
a
going
10-foot
with
pole,
rapier
so.
against Furry Swarm.
You know that.
For not Furry Swarm, Furby Swarm because it does more damage.
Go ahead and roll damage.
I don't know.
Very nice, very nice. As you basically reach out and poke the Furbies one by one until there's basically only two left, clambering around on the ground, and with one sort of biting at one of the joints of Nim's armor.
Good. Two
Is
more
the-
left.
It is the organ's turn. It is going to. It's going to do another sympathetic pain. So, Azeroth, could you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Constitution save. Move, boxes, move. Stupid. There we go. Constitution.
That'll make it.
Why do they
As
keep
another
doing
one
that?
of those
Power of
strange,
God.
almost screaming notes starts to wiggle its way in above the groaning resonance. But you shake your head and it starts to dissipate immediately. A very slight headache for a brief moment for you. It is going to attack Tato again, and is going to miss.
The power
Yeah.
It
of
is
God.
actually its turn. Yeah, that's it. It's the skeleton's turn. And he's going to actually move around right here and attack Elysian.
Bad skeleton, stop attacking me.
17, so that is going to hit. As you take 5 points of damage. The skeleton jabs out with the short sword. As you take a step back, your toes kind of, your heel kind of jutting over the abyss for a brief moment before kind of regaining your footing and pushing the skeleton back.
No,
what?
I do not want to pull.
It is Skeleton Jib's turn. Or Gib. I don't know. Jib? Gib?
It's
Yes.
technically Gib.
Yeah.
Actually, it's technically Jib, but it's actually Gib.
It's like
It
GIF
was
versus
born
GIF?
from an argument of GIF versus GIF.
I guess.
No, that's literally why she named it that.
Hey, it's always Jib, Potato Nettie.
Knowing Shenzi, she would send it up here to attack Furby Swarm 1.
Never mind. It's an
Because
opportunity attack, but you're still within range. Sorry, go ahead.
it's just her, it's attacking her best friend, so she would, have it defend him. I really wish she were here.
No. Move it.
I think we all did.
That is going to hit. Does Jib have a +4 to short sword attacks?
Yeah, this is pulled from the skeleton NPC data.
Ah.
It's just a
That
regular.
hits, and as Jib kills the second to last Furby still remaining from that group, the remaining one is clawing at one of the buckles of your armor. All right, is that going to be their turn? I will.
I
take
cannot
that as a
advance the
yes.
turn, so yeah.
Ah, yeah. Legendary action. The organ plays a brief chord as another bit of resonating air seems to streak out towards. It's going to go towards Azeroth. And he's going to miss violently again. Tato, your turn.
Alright. Somehow my Spear of Relentless Pursuit wasn't actually added to my character list, so I've been fixing that. I'm gonna take out my club, and I'm just gonna whack the crap out of this healthy skeleton here.
Alright. Go ahead and roll to attack.
I get 2.
There we go.
I keep forgetting that Nim does as well.
Come on now. That is going to hit. The second one is. Oof.
This does 10 damage since it's bludgeoning against the skeleton.
Yep, it automatically does that. Nice. As using a club, you basically knock off its entire right arm. And as you do, it reaches to the ground and picks up the short sword that it dropped, clattering very, very angrily at you.
Okay.
Is that going to be your turn?
What else can I do with a movement
You can
Move.
move.
other than move? I mean, I can take a 5-foot step, right? Or is that
No.
something else?
You still have
Disengage is
your
an
move-
action.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
unless you're a rogue, in which case it's a bonus action.
You're awesome. And yes, it's a bonus action.
I have to agree with
Fail.
Zale. We're awesome as the rogues.
All right.
Anyways,
If I can find Shenzi's sheet. I've got like 5 of them open here. There we go. Let's see. She will throw another... Actually, she's gonna move... Nah, leave her where she's at. And we will do Magic Missile.
all right. Who are you aiming for?
Let's see. How many does she get? 3 of them. Okay. So 1 on Furby Swarm 1. 1 on Skeleton 1. And another on Furby Swarm 4.
Wow. As the skeleton and the singular remaining Furby are scattered into the wind by a trio of blue magical bolts erupting from Shenzi's outstretched claw. That gonna be your turn.
Silver will... how far can he move? I think it's 40. Yes. He's gonna come over here and help Zale.
Zale would
Alright.
appreciate it if he were conscious enough to notice.
Purposely avoiding
Where did he start out?
Furby Swarm.
Okay,
Right
and he has 30 feet of movement, so he could go
40.
around. 41, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
went
7,
like-
8. Yeah, you could do that.
That general direction. Alright, advantage because of pack tactics. You can't get away from that even here, Dova.
God damn it. Yes, that hits.
And there.
All right.
Actually, it
Is
just
a-
occurred to me.
What?
He actually would get to do... I won't worry about it this time, but... Technically, Silver is Nim's, steed. Technically.
Okay.
And he...
Thus was the shenanigan used to acquire.
Basically, Nim is on all 4s, so he has no ability to use
for
a
a steed.
steed.
Yes, again, it was the shenanigans used to acquire a companion.
Where does the 1d4 radiant come from?
With the Find Steed spell,
Oh, right. It
When
comes
you-
with the Find Steed spell?
when
The
you
1d4
cast
radiant?
when you cast a spell on yourself, like Divine Favor, it also applies to your steed.
Ah.
And I forgot to do that before, so it's there now for future attacks.
There we go. The organ is going to attack Silver with a legendary action.
Hey! No!
And it rolled a 23. As Silver takes 5 points of thunder damage from a particularly well-aimed burst of the low pipes. Furby Swarm number 3 is going to start to bite and scratch at Zale as it starts to kind of clamber up your legs.
Ow. How rude.
And it rolls a 7.
That will not hit. No.
Wow. That's all it's gonna do. This one right here is going to begin to dismantle Gib. Basically, forcibly pulling it apart.
No, not Gib.
Oh, that's a good hit. Ooh, 5 points of damage. Excuse me? Oh, I accidentally rolled it on Furby Swarm. I'll do it. As Skeleton Gib takes 5 points of damage. As one of them actually takes his forearm between its sort of ragged, jagged beak, basically just pulls it out and throws it on the ground.
We can fix that, I'm pretty sure.
This one is going to start to make its way over here as well. Nim, your turn.
Nim will protect Shenzi's other friend, moving here and attacking Furby Swarm too.
Go ahead and roll to attack.
Advantage because of pack tactics.
That's gonna hit.
There's that one.
Wait, why'd you have an advantage on that?
Pack tactics.
There are no allies within 5 feet of the enemy you're attacking. Oh wait, you're attacking number 2, correct?
I'm attacking number 4.
Ah, then you would.
It says so.
I know. I'm just making sure.
And then with his extra attack that I always forget about, he'll bite again.
That is going to hit.
Tell me, children, what school did you go to learn such a vulgar language?
That will be all for Nim.
All right. Legendary action. The organ is going to attack Nim.
For the record, Zale never attended any kind of school. Attendance was not mandatory where he grew up, I'm sorry.
Why does it always roll from like 18 to 5? Come on. Azeroth, your turn. Azeroth?
God damn it, my mic is muted. I was like, I will attack.
Who are you attacking?
You know what? No, I gotta get closer to somebody. Let's see. And I thought there was a skeleton left, but never mind. Never
Nope, that
mind.
was
That's the
that
organ.
was indeed killed.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Hoo-ha. I see Furbies. No one's really low on life. Except Alyssum. Wait, does Alyssum need help? Fuck. I've not been watching your health bar. I'm sorry, dude.
He only has a big orange dot on top of him.
Nah, he'll be fine. No. I guess I'll recant that. I'm sorry. I didn't notice it was low. I'm only looking at the enemy's health. I'll go and heal my friend. Or
So our cleric is
temporary.
in a battle rage. This is appropriate for a follower of Tempest.
Yeah, I know. You're lucky. I rarely realized you were here needing. Let me go with that instead. Blah. I shall do the Curist of Wounds. How do I do the rank 2 version of it again? Don't I have to like do it?
Just right click.
You as you're dragging the dice, right click to add one more.
Oh, fuck. Drag it, right click it, put it on his health.
perfection.
Ah. And that is a level 2 spell. Boop. You are healed, my friend. May you fight and kill more.
Yay, the heals.
Wonderful, wonderful. Is that going to be your turn?
Yep, that is my turn.
All right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll do. As a very deep chorus begins to play, the ground beneath Silver shifts very slightly as clawing their way up from this almost thick, junk-ridden soil. Another Furby swarm emerges.
I will note that Furbies don't really have claws with which they could claw their way out, just kind of rising as lumps. If potatoes bubbled from the earth and were covered in fur, beaks, and crazy eyes, this would be it.
No.
Very big icon. Oh no, regular sized icon. All right. And that is going to be it. Zale, your turn.
Does Zale have line of effect to the organ keyboard?
Yes, you would. What are you looking to do?
Shoot an arrow,
Go ahead and roll to attack.
but this is a special arrow. It has no arrowhead.
Hmm. Is it magical in any way, or is this basically just a stick?
It is an alchemical item.
All right. What does it do?
It's a pot of magical glue.
I see.
You still get adhesives? Where are you pulling adhesives out of?
Well, it's sort of, well, it's a region right beneath my tail. I've got them hidden in. You want to check it out?
Do you like tie a rope around it and dangle
What?
it from your butt?
Excuse me?
Like tie a
What?
rope around your tail to the glue pot?
He's saying in very poetic terms that he pulls it out of his ass.
Go ahead and roll damage as you're drawing back the arrow. You release, and at that split moment, a Furby from below you seems to spring upwards directly in the path of the arrow.
I don't actually have a damage roll for this because it has no arrowhead.
Go ahead and roll a d4.
D4 works.
Any arrow should be able to spear through someone if it's being fired from.
It has no arrowhead. It's a pot covered in glue.
Hey,
As
that works.
the Furby that jumps up is immediately just coated in a vicious, sort of a beige substance, immediately caking into its matted fur and solidifying almost instantly. As it falls to the ground in front of you, it kind of claws at the actual glue itself for a brief moment before kind of wobbly, sort of standing up wobbly and blindly returning back towards you, looking rather silly with the arrow still sticking out of its forehead.
I was gonna
basically.
say we have created the Furby on a stick. God help us all.
Question: how high is the ceiling?
I'd say fairly high, maybe 120 feet or so. With
entire-
various stalagmites
No.
pointing downwards. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, no stalactites. Sorry.
The ceiling is a rounded dome. Yes, 120 feet is a pretty good measure of the distance. It's that vision, basically. That's all you can see is a rounded dome above showing a bird's eye view of the ground. It is constantly moving, showing different battlefields and skirmishes within the cities across the Moonsea. Mole Master and Holberg are not the only ones being attacked. You don't recognize the others, but you can at least tell that those are not cities you are familiar with. And Zale, that was actually a really good
Oh, that
Mm.
wasn't him thinking clearly, that was him thinking pissed. Bonus action to disengage, and he's going to move his complement away from the Furby swarms.
All right. As you basically tuck and roll, kind of tossing the various Furbies onto the dirt as they try to sort of scramble up and follow you. All right, and that's going to be your turn, correct?
Correct. He is, oops, at once
sorry.
vivid and unable to speak.
Elysian, your turn.
Yay, it's my turn. I do a little dance, so I can't show that on the stream.
Roll performance check.
Question. Did you show this dance at any point or time to an
No.
elderly seal lady?
You hush.
Maybe. Let's see. That's
You hush too.
not one. So I'd have to go
Be right
here,
back, though.
attack nearest. Actually, should I go try and help Silver?
Who?
Silver.
You should.
I am unaware of this person to whom you refer.
Nims.
You guys
or
would
something?
know who Silver is.
Okay, they would know who Silver is.
You would as well.
How long
You
did
were
it take him to
around
learn what's
when-
his face's name?
You were around when Silver came in.
Anyways, going back to my point, should I help Silver or attack this Furby swarm here?
You could attack the Furby swarms that are attacking Silver, so yes, go help him.
Okay. Let's say I was here. Okay. So let's see which ones. So it's Furby Swarm 5 attacking him now. So I'm
You
going
were
to-
back there, so you would take an opportunity attack from the Furby swarm as you pass by.
Oh, I forgot opportunity attack sort of thing.
As it basically, a few of them just reach out and try to bite at your feet as you pass.
Can I use disengage to avoid that?
Certainly, that would be an action.
He's a
Unless
rogue,
you're a rogue.
so
He is a rogue?
I am a rogue.
Okay,
So-
yeah, you can certainly do that. As
So,
as
okay,
you,
I'm
as a
going
bonus
to use,
action.
what is it? I believe it's cunning action.
But yes, you're able to do that.
Yeah, use cunning action to get within range, and then cunning action to get out of range with that, and attack my intended Furby target, the one that's attacking our.
It's only an issue when you remove
No,
yourself
I
from
don't.
range. So cutting action to disengage from Furby Swarm orange dot, and you just can get close enough to the greens normally.
Yep. So, I'm going to attack that Furby swarm. I guess I have to here.
Yeah, Silver and the Furby swarm are occupying the same space.
Okay.
And you would have enough movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you would.
Good.
So you could make it within attacking range right there. That will hit, so go ahead and roll damage.
Yay, damage. Plus sneak attack. Get a few more jabs, not jabs, stabs off.
There you go.
There
As you
we
take
go.
your rapier and start to pick one of each of them off one at a time.
I'm going to make a Furby shish kebab.
Oh, it
The
is the
least
next logical
delicious
evolution
thing
of
ever.
Furby on a stick.
Yeah.
And
Multiple Furbies. Honestly.
then we can cook it over a fire and feed it to Nim.
Quick question: are we still holding our big blocks?
Yes.
No, Zil at least put his down.
Did you?
That was specified. I stated it clearly at least twice last session.
Give me a perception check real quick, Zale.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of checks, Nim, could you give me a
Or
wisdom saving or a Constitution saving
I'm
throw?
absolutely oblivious to whatever it is you're trying to tell me.
I can give you one. And that's
Just
good to
add.
know there.
Everyone's doing it at the same time. Hey, that's not gonna make it. As visions of very complicated math problems dance through your head and just, oh, you get the wildest, fucking gnarliest headache ever. Just all those numbers, all those differential equations, oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, since I finally got hit by something, I'm going to use my armor's ability for Divine Retribution. I won't do that. Basically,
Divine Retribution, what does that do?
It allows me a burst effect. A burst attack once per encounter. It's a reaction. And it's 5 feet centered on me against enemies. They get a save for half. And it does 2d6 radiant damage.
Alright. That 1d4, does it apply to spells or just to melee attacks?
Let me double check. Not that one. It would be weapon attacks, so
There you go. That would not apply.
Yeah.
1 and 2, in addition, if you're using your teeth, then it would not apply as well. Unless, you do have, metal teeth?
They are magical, yes.
Okay, there you go.
It would apply
And
to
that
my
one-
teeth.
Does silver have weapons?
Teeth are weapons.
Oh, and yeah, okay.
They are
I'm thinking
weapons.
too shallow here. I'm like, God, that 1d4, it doesn't seem right.
The 1d4 on
Oh,
the
yeah,
armor
that
does
one.
not apply, but
Right.
that is automatically added. It was only one extra there, so yeah, just reduce that.
2 and 4. All right. Elysian, could you give me a Constitution saving throw?
What if I said no?
Then
I'd
you
say
fail it.
do it anyways, as you take.
No, if you can always choose to fail a save.
You can
No,
if you
I'm
want.
not choosing. I rolled it.
Mhm.
Now the question is if I actually failed.
You did.
Oh.
As you take 7 points of psychic damage, a
I believe 3 of us have
withering-
rolled 14 against this.
twisted sort of melody resonating in your head and giving you a wicked migraine.
This
Right.
isn't Song of Storms.
Tato, could you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Yes, sir. That one.
Ooh, I'm excited. I like this.
Basically keeps going until one of us succeeds or all of us have been hit.
Oh my god, why?
Oh, I already. Okay, take away 6 of that. I accidentally rolled twice. So you are at 21. Azeroth, could you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Come on, Cleric of Tempest.
Oh
Show
my
how it
goodness.
is done.
You said the Constitution saving
Yes.
roll. I'm trying to find my cons again. Boop.
That is not how it is done. You fail.
Oh well. You should have started with me. You don't end on the
As you
fight.
take 3 points of psychic damage. Could you give me a Constitution saving throw from Skeleton Jib?
Oh.
Does he
We
have
are-
Constitution?
He should.
He's got a +2.
Damn. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he failed it, but
As you take 6 points of psychic damage. Zale, did I already get you?
If I said yes, would you believe me?
Probably not.
Good.
holy
I'm alive.
crap!
It's a roll that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on.
Watch, it's going to be only
Uh,
Shenzi that succeeds.
Could you give me one for silver?
She does seem to be last, so yes.
She's very far away. Okay, give me one for Shenzi as well. Oh, it feels good to do the round robin. Damage for everyone.
You didn't think
no.
everyone
Damn
would
it.
know this when you made this move, when you thought of using this move out, did you?
Oh, it makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
As a GM, I'm sure you're loving the carnage.
Oh,
We've
that was,
awakened
that
the
was
murder.
beautiful. As everyone almost stumbles, reaching towards their head and kind of clawing at it as waves of pain rack through all of your minds. A wicked and almost a disgusting note plays. One that resonates with you all,
Give
unfortunately.
you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and hurt you.
Zale seems disoriented overall, by the way.
Mm.
Beyond the damage being applied.
Leasing is just uttering a high-pitched dog whine,
Oh.
wolf whine.
How attached are you to Skeleton Gib?
Shenzi
Not
is
as attached as we are to paint chips, but it is
Okay.
Shenzi's first undead friend.
Shenzi is incredibly attached to Skeleton Jib.
I see.
I would say that if Gib had another turn, like the next, maybe, we would send him out of combat. Would
Okay.
be my recommendation.
All right. About that.
It would be it would be one thing for if she
See,
were.
now, as it happens, Nim still has his heroic action, and Nim is directly adjacent to Skeleton Gib.
He will throw himself in front of the attack.
All right. You're going to take 8 points of thunder damage.
Damn.
You'll need
That would cost you a reaction. I will fix this.
You said 8.
His name. Yes.
Not
I will
that.
inform the ninja.
Oh, that's unfortunate. 888. All right, and that is finally going to be the end of the organ's turn. It is Skeleton
Jib's
Gib's
going
turn.
to disengage and leave the chamber.
All right, as Skeleton Jib basically just runs away, bravely runs away.
Shenzi would have
Shambles.
commanded him to get out.
Mhm.
She would be very upset if he died.
Yep. She'd tell him to flee before he died. Flee!
As the skeleton is fleeing, the organ is going to fire towards it, but is going to go towards someone else. It's actually going to go towards Azeroth,
Oh no.
and I dream of hitting an attack with this.
So naturally,
One
you
day.
choose the most heavily armored in the group.
Yeah, of course. As it basically strikes the ground directly between Gibbs' legs as he bravely turns tail and run.
And he did leave an arm behind, if you will recall. We'll need to recover that later.
Yeah.
Somebody remember.
Just a
I'm
little
sure
bit of
Shenzi
an
will
arm
remember.
bone.
Hey, a retreat isn't about bravery, it's about tactics.
Exactly.
He's advancing in the opposite direction.
Yeah. Tato, your turn.
Man,
It's
Make his tail
eventually
run and running.
flanking.
advanced
It's also
flanking.
the best strategy when you have no more strategies.
All right. I'm going to take out my spear. And I'm going to just get a running... Well, not really a running start, but I'm going to get some movement here and throw it. And that'll teleport me all the way here.
Boop, 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 boop.
Also dealing damage to the organ or its operator. I didn't really specify which. Let's say the organ itself.
For all of
failed-
you, the player himself is surrounded by a cloud of Furbies. The organ is unprotected for the most part. There are a few Furbies kind of swarming around him and stuff, or around it, but the player himself is protected.
As the could you give me an
what's-
attack roll?
Yeah, I didn't give you an attack roll yet.
Yes, I would like that first. All right. What are the rules if it hits someone?
I can teleport to its location, so
Alright.
long as I don't have anything else in my hands.
So you throw it.
So you have
Guessing with
sculpture
a
brick.
little bit of arc. You're about 5 feet tall.
Oh yeah, and I
so-
put down the brick. I forgot to mention that. I keep forgetting about the brick.
Drop.
Give me a perception check, Tato.
I'm interested. Oh, for
Yeah,
that.
I have no idea what's gonna happen. 19.
Somebody broke
notice
the ignorance
as-
strike.
Furbies are scrambling up from the ledges, from the abyss surrounding this platform. They start to push your brick towards the edge.
Relevance to my brick. It was left in the passage outside of the cavern.
It may or may not be there anymore.
I'm just saying,
It
relevance
is
to my brick.
Schrodinger's brick. It is Schrodinger's
Yes, it
brick.
is.
And do I impale the organ?
You would not. Go ahead and roll damage though. Because as you throw it, one of the Furbies, with a startling speed, sort of jolts his head to the side of his spot on the organ and leaps off of it directly into the path of the spear. As it meets it about right here. That'd be enough damage to kill it. As the spear impales it, the magical energy automatically activates, bringing you about 10 feet into the air, which is definitely within your means to kind of avoid any sort of injury from falling that height. As you sort of clonk down on the ground, you stumble to the side for a moment before being able to stand upright. I'd say due to that, you'd have half of your movement left.
I think I'll just take a. Can I take a defensive position or no? Tails though.
You can certainly try to. There's no real mechanical ways to do that without using your main action.
Okay.
However, when things start to come your way, I'll take that into account.
All right. Well, I will attempt a defensive stance and end my turn here.
All right. Shenzi's turn.
Shenzi is not going to be happy about this thing attacking her friend. She will move
And her
here.
new friend.
Huh?
And her new friend. Her bestest friend and her newest friend.
Why is there a Holy crap, she's got like 20 blank fields in her inventory.
I don't think she's ever bothered to delete any of them.
Sometimes you people just...
Hey, my
Make
sheet
me
is very
sad.
well organized. I want you
My
to know
sheet
that.
is
Mine is
perfection. Okay.
There's another blank one. And there's one that's randomly numbered. It just has 7.
That's how many there are.
Well, I mean, if you want to get very technical, this is our crazy necromancer that we're dealing with. I mean, the sheet kind of matches the personality. Just saying. Anyways,
Bolts of Usain? What the heck is that? Anyways.
Don't- I wouldn't touch
She is going
Be
to
right back.
bring out a friend. Maybe not. Are we... Do I have access to that in here? Yes, I do.
Oh, that friend.
Yes. She's going to bring out a replacement friend.
I want to know if it still has the panties on.
What panties? What are you talking about?
Maybe I'm
Hello,
looking at the
panties.
same friend as you are. There was a lovely pair of spotted blue bloomers at one point.
This
No,
is
no,
her
bring out your
friend
friend.
from Velden Camp.
Ah,
Okay, let's see.
she has so many friends.
Yes, she does. She loves it, I'm sure. Okay, Dova, you will have to run the stats for this and add it to the combat tracker and stuff. Well, let me...
It might be
Fair.
better if you would handle that.
Yeah. I've just...
I have no
thought of
idea
that.
what's going on.
She has a specter as a friend. Friend from Velden Camp. Visible. Make it friendly because that's what it is. And there we go. So yeah, here's the... It's basically a... It's basically a specter.
Well, all right.
So, anyways, that
Where's
was
it gonna
a
be?
bonus action. Put it next to Tato.
What side?
Top. Put it right next to the I'll move it. There we go. She'll summon it right there. That is a bonus action. And now she will attack the organ directly. Oh, what should we do? Necrobolt is good.
It is. As you all see, whereas in the previous 2 attacks, there was a Furby basically perched on top of the organ, always almost scanning. There is not one at the moment, as the bolt would fly true and strike one of the larger pipes on the organ, denting it. However, with the denting comes a odd, twisted resonance.
I would use the word dissonance.
That is a much better word, I thank you. As it will, assuming that is her, yep, that's going to be her turn. And it's going to immediately attack Shinzi in retaliation. And that is going to hit.
We'll use shield.
What's the AC on shield?
It adds +5.
And her natural AC is going to be her dex. So 10, yeah, that would nullify it. Go ahead and
Cool.
mark down that spell. And take away 6 of the wounds. Since I kind of rolled it before you said.
All right. This is worth a shot.
Yeah. Silver.
Silver is going to...
Potato's back.
Your implication is we care.
Whoa.
It's not his
Rude.
turn yet. He can stay away longer if he wants to.
That's true.
Silver is going to disengage and run over behind Nim.
All right.
Query.
Yes?
Is or is not his tail between his legs?
Nope.
Just curious.
He was ordered to do so.
Ah, so his ears are laid back instead.
Probably, yeah.
All right. The swarm right here, having been rudely removed from the body of Silver, is going to immediately engulf Elysian.
All right, I wasn't here for
no.
this. Who is the friend of Veldencamp? Is that?
I'm sorry, let's...
That's the.
Shenzi's specter from the coin,
Oh, cool.
I assume.
Her magic item from the first one I ran with you guys, you remember how she had to basically give up her coin and leave her friend behind?
Yeah, I remember it got upgraded.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what happened here. Hey, it's Furby Swarm 5's turn, not 3.
He's eventually going to move.
Wait, why do we
And they're
have
both... I
2
don't know if
5s?
they're both named...
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I don't see two
Oh, well.
fives. I only see one. So
If you hover over them, they're both named 5.
I think one of them is 3. Yeah.
One of them is supposed to be 3, but it is indeed named 5 on the map. That is amusing.
Yeah, so I guess that is
All right.
weird.
Oh, god dang it, I attacked myself. I'm doing well. There
To
we
be fair,
go.
you are stacking tokens, which makes it slightly
Yeah.
more difficult.
All right. As a large number of beaks and bony claws start to scratch away at you, and I realized I forgot to do something this turn. Oh no, wait, I already did it. Never mind. It will be done next turn as well. Swarm number 3, which is actually 5 on the map, is going to swarm over Shenzi. And shield lasts until the end of your turn, right? Until the end of the round, correct? Either way, it's
shield,
going to
yes.
miss.
It's until the end of her, or beginning of her next turn.
You can go ahead and make an opportunity attack as this Furby swarm is going to run towards Tato.
I will happily do so.
As the other swarm is going to very happily engulf you.
I will do a bite on Furby Swarm.
Yeah, that hits. And it is still alive. Although to a fraction
I'm
of their total number.
going to add one of these.
I noticed that Furby Swarm 2 over here.
that would do it.
Too.
Go ahead and mark down that smite.
Of course.
Oh, that's what you're doing. Okay.
You're welcome, Tato.
Welcome to the land of the lustrous. I mean, wait.
What? You
So
deleted
you
the
managed
wrong
to attack
one.
both?
Oh, Land of the Lustrous.
I or weeb.
Dova, you deleted the wrong one.
Did I? Oh, I did. God dang it.
GG, we beat them all. Good job.
Heck.
I'm not a weed. Don't call me that.
I'm doing good.
You're an Ultra Weeb Supreme with a side of Weebies.
If that's
There.
true, then
I
you're
did it
dumb.
right. Alright, one's
Only
going
Nim
to
gets
try
to
to
bite
attack you,
Tato.
Nim. Actually, could you give me a...
I will give
Just
you.
give me a wisdom saving throw?
Sure.
Hey, look, guys, I'm balancing on a stress ball.
As the
Or on the medicine ball.
sort of
is that what it's called?
cacophony of the
No, you're
Furby sort
balancing
of
on a
squealing
ball with your
next to
nose.
you.
Guys, would you let
Uh,
Dova talk, please?
As the squealing of the cacophony of the Furbies directly below you and climbing on top of you, combined with the dissonance of the organ, it makes your head sting a little bit, but you manage to sort of stay aware of your surroundings. Legendary action right before Nim takes his turn. Oh, come on.
Hello, Commander. In
And that is
response
going
to your
to miss.
request, we have sent backup. Good luck, Commander. We are forever in your debt.
Falling apart. Nim, your turn.
Thank you very much for that subscription renewal there, Rise of Roth. I appreciate that so much. 3 months, that's really appreciated. Thank you. Now for my turn. Nim is going to... I'll give you a guess.
Bite.
Yes.
Roll to attack.
No.
That hits. That would do it.
Let me check.
That swarm is now dead.
I'm going to assume that I won't be able to get a second attack after I move. Because extra attack, it looks like it is... I can attack twice, but I don't think I can
It
split
uses
those.
one action, but yes, you
Yeah.
can't split it with multi-attack.
Yeah. So, with that one dead, he'll just take up a defensive position here.
All right.
Specifically protecting Silver behind him. And that is all. And from Veldencamp, we'll attack the Furby Organ.
Go ahead and roll to attack.
You have the info for him.
I wonder if he can possess it.
No,
Possess
they
the
cannot
organ.
possess.
Oh.
All right, and that's going to hit. Oh, wrong roll. There we go. 11 damage to the organ. As another one of the pipes starts to malfunction, the small slit in which the tone is actually produced being jammed with something. And I believe that's going to be its turn. Azeroth.
I wanna kill things, but guess I'll have to do my job. Gosh darn jobs. Let me see if I forgot if it does the thing that I think it does again. Now that I think about it.
What thing does what thing?
I have to see if the thing does the thing, guys. Give me a second.
Dang.
In range. Da, 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 da. See within range. I don't know. How can I interpret? 60 feet. Duh. How much is each block again?
5 feet.
One, dos, tres. Oh, cool. You're good. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to do my healing ability.
What are you doing?
The heals. I'm doing the heals, man.
What heals?
wait.
The heal dance.
The heal word. The mass healing words.
You have
More
mass
rapid
cure
word.
wounds?
Mass
Mm-mm.
healing
Healing word.
Oh, healing word. Okay.
This.
Okay.
Yay!
So,
Words.
yeah, I can't make it superpower, so you only get like a bit per each of you.
Hey,
One.
something's better than nothing.
You, and for you, and for you, and for you, that guy, and why not to the whole party? That was actually pretty good.
That was
One
very well
problem
done.
there. You can only do it to 6 people.
4, 5, 6. Oh well, then forget myself. Anyways, forget some heal.
But otherwise, that's a great That was a great idea. And that was a bonus action, which means you still have an attack and stuff.
I guess I'm gonna do
Is-
something. It does. It does count as a bonus.
Okay.
But I put it down for the description. Thingy. The chat. And I
So-
choose to attack.
Maybe, move over there and help Shenzi, because she's kind of the squishiest.
Oh, I was gonna shoot it with a bow and arrow, but
That could work.
nope, too late. You already said move. So I move and attack. Haha.
Go ahead and roll to attack. Nice. Crit deck.
As a Ross, you are rocking this round.
Actually, that would be at disadvantage since you are within 5 feet.
He rolled the wrong one. He kind of does that a bit.
They both are the same. I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead and roll with the right one. All right, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh wait, shit. I meant to roll it on. Oh well. Sorry.
I'll take care of it. That's number 3. All right. As you start to go to work on the swarm that's currently encompassing Shenzi.
Should have shot an arrow.
I believe that's going to be your turn then.
Yes, that is a.
Alright.
You got heals. You got attack.
Can everybody please give me a wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom save, bro. I am not smart. Oh, actually, I'm very smart. Let's hope I get something.
Except you're not smart, you're wise,
All
my
right,
friend.
fail. Tato, you fail.
Oh, yes.
Nim makes
Oh.
it.
I think I'm going to fail too.
Lisa
Or
makes
not.
it.
Or not for once.
Shenzi makes it.
Shenzi rocks it. What are you talking about?
Silver does not make it. Oh, that's a shame.
Healed you.
I need one for the friend from Velden Camp. I can just make that right here. That's under. There it is.
You're wasting the life that God has given you. At least by
And
my
the
God.
friend fails it. Alright, so silver. Into the pit he goes. As a unstable sort of bone-shaking melody starts to play. The lowest of the low pipes play, and those of you with weaker minds can only watch as it seems the space around you is folded.
Oh no, he's playing the brown note.
As Silver is seemingly brought a little ways off the platform,
Oh my.
and with a brief sort of protestation noise, falls into the abyss. Zale, what direction are you going in?
I don't know, but he has his fingers in his ears singing la 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 la.
Wait, so who felt that only? Two?
Ooh, that is lucky for you. Could you give me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Mm-hmm.
All right. As you are, like Silver, shifted through space itself.
Difference
managed
being,
to-
cats have claws.
Yes, as you dig them into the wall, as you dig them into the soil, sort of coating the top of this platform. Feet
What
sort
the-
of dangling off into the unknown.
What are you using?
The haunting melody.
That would have had to have happened before Azroth's turn.
Yes, I forgot about that, but it's happening now.
So deal with it.
Plus, I figured players will go first in initiative since that seems fair. In most cases, as far as I remember it, that's the case. So, Tato and... I believe it's... Oh no, Tato and the Phantom. Okay.
Because
Which way are you going, Tato?
while you're controlling this
Oh, wrong one.
encounter, I'm still a DM, and I would say no one can go off the cliff. Because going off that cliff means instant death.
Yeah, that's
Fair
kind of
enough.
the point. So,
I kind of did it to Silver because they can die without much consequence. Come
I
on.
would still say no.
All right, go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw for...
They
Silver.
just go in a different direction then. But
Oh, come now, you killed us with impunity.
I
As
did
Silver
it
is
for
now
story.
clinging to the side of the cliff. And Tato, what did I roll for yours? You go directly in this direction. As
You
you
slam into the organ.
close, you slam into the wall before sort of rolling off and hitting the sort of bone-strewn soil.
That's actually another chasm.
Oh,
Do I
there's
take-
there's a wall.
all right, do I take damage?
No, not really. The
Okay.
soil is soft enough that you kind of sink into it a little bit before, brushing the bits of bone and dirt off of you, and little bits of little fluffs of fur. All right, Zale, it's your turn. Oh right, Phantom. It's all the same direction with these guys. As it seems the friend from Velden camp, yeah, that's as he seems that he disappears from sight. You aren't really sure exactly where he went.
If a spectre walks into a possibly hallucinatory, possibly not spectral image, does it become part of the image, go to the future, or simply pass through as if it were not there?
That is an excellent philosophical question that I don't really have an answer for.
Zale has a climb speed, he easily clambers back up.
So you are now on the top. I'd say that'd take 10 feet of your, or however many.
He has a
feet your
move
climb
speed.
Oh, climb speed? Okay, that would take 5 feet just to climb up.
Hold on,
Yeah.
I must object. That was a practical question, not a philosophical one.
That's
Well, no,
true.
it was philosophical with possible future practical applications that do not yet need to be answered.
Not an arcanist here.
How much?
Zale will sputter with fury as he glares at the organ. He is heavy with emotion at present. I hate churches. And he is casting his Eldritch Blast.
All right, go ahead and roll to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, churches are good. Thank you.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Second blast.
Oh.
Nope.
That does not hit.
A little too angry.
That's why you don't anger the gods, send your head churches.
All right, Elysian, your turn.
My turn. I discovered that there's actually a 2005 Furby movie.
Mm-hmm.
Is it good?
No.
We don't know, but I think I know.
It's
Tate's
a
opinion
Furby
on it
movie.
already.
That's true.
Anyways, I can still attack with Furby Swarm, right?
Yes, you can.
And it's Furby Swarm 5?
Yep.
Okay.
Very nice. Roll damage.
Oh. I didn't even mean to roll that at anything, but okay. And I can't sneak attack this time because nobody's in range. Damn it.
All right, is that going to be your turn?
It's all I can really do unless I can try and get this swarm off me other than wounding it.
You are a rogue, correct?
Yes.
You could use your bonus action to disengage.
I'm going disengage then.
All right, where are you going?
I'm going to run like over here and away from the edge.
All right.
Then I'll end my turn.
All right. God dang it, I pressed it again. Second time I've done that. It is the
It's
organ's
because-
turn.
It's because I pressed it and then you must have went to press it again.
Yeah, exactly that. Let's see, who's first? Zale, go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
We all know I can do that. Come now. If I can do it without dragging my character sheet, at least. See? There. Saving throw. Slightly
Time
below
for
average.
another round robin. As you take 7 points of psychic damage. Azeroth, could you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Constitution, safe throw. Sorry, I forgot what that's at. There we go. Ooh.
For the record, we are doing worse than we did last time.
You know, if anything, I blame you for saying good job to me so many.
Tato, could you give me a Constitution saving throw?
That is exactly why I say it, by the way, to incur the wrath of the dice gods. It's more amusing.
Tato?
Did you say con roll?
Constitution. Sorry, you had the AFK mark.
I failed. So am I throwing up?
No. You take 5 points of psychic damage, and the cycle continues. Nim, could you give me a Constitution saving throw now? I'd be disappointed if you did not make this.
Be disappointed.
Keep your
I
disappointment
only
high.
have a +3.
Oh, I have a +1. Come on.
Teo has a +3 too.
As you failed your your concentration check. Interesting. Next up is Elysian. Could you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Yeah.
As you all are paper cutted to death.
Yeah.
7 points of psychic damage. I believe Shenzi is up now. I'll just throw that in here.
Come on,
good
boom
lord.
chomp.
That's a 7. She takes 4 points of psychic damage. The only two people that are left are the Ghost and Silver. Could you give me a Constitution saving throw from Silver? I'll handle the Ghost. We're gonna go the ghost and then silver.
So you roll the ghost first.
It failed. Roll a 7. Hey, I love round robins. There's 4 to the friend. And 5 to silver. It is also going to attack. It's going to attack Elysian.
No.
I'm guessing an 11 misses.
Yes.
Then that is going to be its turn. It is Skeleton Gib who is running away. Tato!
I thought Gib was dead.
Gib's gone.
Using an item, what kind of action is that?
Depending on the item. If it's a large item, then it would be a full action. But if it's like if you're starting a stopwatch, that'd probably just be a free action.
I'm going to break the second time on my Trident of
I
Endowment.
want to break free.
What does the Trident of Endowment do?
It gives me enlarge.
Interesting. Does it say on the item what the activation cost is?
I just have to break one of the tines.
Oh, the time. I thought you said time. I was
It's
like, that's
basically
kinda-
It's a fork.
He has to break
Yeah.
his watch.
It's a it's a 3-pronged fork, and all I gotta
This
do
would
is
be a
just snap
bonus
one of them.
action.
Okay, thank you.
And yeah, it's basically a wand.
it's okay. It's that big. I thought it was an actual trident. I was like, that's
It's called
No.
a trident, but it's actually rather small.
okay. A
It's a
symbolic
big-
trident.
Yeah.
Some might refer to it as a fork of truth.
You have to smash the watch every time you want to do it, though.
Yeah.
Oh god. So if somebody
Alright.
could increase the size of my character, I don't know how to do that myself.
I'll just make nice and big.
Thank you. I'm just
Uh,
like, you know what? Tito smash.
that'll do.
Yeah, that'll do.
I was under the impression eating the mushrooms was a bad idea, but apparently not.
And you know,
All right.
the best thing about a spear is that I have reach. And the spear got bigger too, and it deals an extra 1d4 damage.
Excellent. So what are you doing with that?
Oh, I'm attacking. One moment.
Were you attacking?
I will be attacking the organ itself.
All right. You can be right there and attack it. Or are you throwing it?
No, it has reach.
Well, there you go. Reach indicates a 10-foot range.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll to attack with that. And remember, you get a
God dang it!
that misses. As a large group of the Furbies seem to swarm over, because there's an ever-present sort of swarm of them right next to the organ, and quite a bit of them almost detach and swarm right under your foot, sort of pulling it out of the way. As you suddenly lose your balance and your spear jabs off to the left, slamming into a pile of bones.
Well, I pull it back out. I
Oh,
take my... well, I can't really take a defensive position now. I have too many openings just for being big. So I just prepare for the swarm.
All right. Instead of a swarm, the organ is going to attack you.
Hmm.
Uh, 17 misses, correct?
Yes, it does.
All right. It is Shenzi's turn.
Wait, what does the organ do?
As one of the pipes with a very strange sort of fluid motion bends towards you and fires a blast of disgustingly dissonant sound at you, as it almost ricochets off of some of your armor, your left vibrating. But the vibrations eventually fade, and you're able to continue your fighting. All right, that is going to hit. It's number 3, correct?
Yeah.
It's going to be at disadvantage since it is a ranged attack. Actually, it is in the same space.
That doesn't usually affect spells, though.
It is a ranged spell attack, though, correct?
Yeah.
And it is ranged attack. Could you roll one more time? So disadvantage. I don't think it'll ever be lower. So yeah, that will hit as Shenzi basically starts to fire these necro bolts, almost directly at herself, clearing off the various Furbies that are still swarming over her.
For the record, dropping a fireball, perfectly valid way to get rid of a swarm.
Trust me, I checked to see if she had it.
I figured. She's not that kind of wizard.
Yeah,
Right.
she isn't.
She would if the flames were black and dealt necrotic damage.
You're not wrong.
It is
Uh,
Silver Sir.
He will scramble back up onto the platform.
All right, that would use half of your movement, unless he has a climbing speed, of course.
No.
There you go.
Cat, superior.
He does more damage with his bite.
Then
He'll move
Zale
there,
with a
and
spell.
that will be all.
Excellent.
Just because he doesn't have a spell does not make you superior.
Alright, how much base damage is his bite?
2d4.
2
Plus
claw attacks,
something.
1d4 each.
Okay, so it's the same. Nim has a better damage than you.
Listen here, my cleric is all to use.
Can him see in absolute darkness?
He can
Nobody
smell.
can smell.
Oh, never mind.
I wouldn't want to smell me.
He can still find you by smell.
Yeah.
Continue.
The Furby Swarm is going to do as its namesake suggests and swarm over to Elysian, as the leg has indeed returned. It's
Oh,
going to attack on that. Wait for it to come up. All right. It is going to be a 15, so that actually hits.
yeah. Bad Furbies, stop attacking me.
All right, you're going to take a blistering 2 points of damage
No,
as they start
it's the
to
end of the world.
peck at you.
Peck, peck.
Exactly 2 pecks.
Basically that. They're not doing too much to you.
They did.
No.
This swarm is going to attack Shenzi.
I'm just sitting here having fun
Whoops.
throwing Turlix's avatar off the screen in between my turns.
Stop throwing me off the screen.
Yeah, I don't know what is up with this lag, but I accidentally rolled damage instead of an attack, and now, oh
Like-
dear lord. So I'm gonna have to fix that. Wait to see if it actually hits. Oh, of course it hits. It fucking crits.
Can we have the old damage back?
No.
Wait, what is critting on who?
Furby Swarm number 3 is critting on Shenzi. So could you help me with this? Because I'm hitting a big lag spike right now. So take 6 damage away from Shenzi, add or reset the roll, and then a crit card needs to be drawn.
Okay. Let's roll another attack. Got that done. And card. Wait,
Don't teach my hamster to suck eggs.
we have an ethereal influence.
Yay! Unenthusiastically.
What we gonna get?
Well, Anir redeemed a moderate influence to uncrit. He wants to save the Shenzi. Considering that is a moderate influence that you used, I would say it basically just makes the attack miss. So, we
Okay,
will
so-
accept that. So,
We'll
a
play
little...
out the divine intervention.
One of the Furbies goes to peck at Shenzi's eyes, and a blue cat appears, jumping onto the Furby and dragging the one away from her.
Naturally swatting it with a bad Furby.
Yes. Thank you for the follow there, Rondo Bun. So anyways, moving on.
All right. It's not going to be his turn. This is weird. It's like for an hour it works perfectly, and then for another hour, basically 1 frame every 15 seconds or so. I will eventually... Oops, I went too far. Oh, Lord.
I got it.
Did I? Okay.
So it was Swarm 3's turn.
Yes, but there's nobody after that who's currently
Yeah, so
alive.
then you did not go too far.
Alright.
Alright. Nim's gonna look over to Azeroth and Azeroth, could you heal Silver, please? Really? That's your
I
response?
mean,
to me?
technically, you could heal your own companion.
Yes, but if he heals Silver for him, he can then go and attack the organ.
Fine, still all of.
I'm just trying to get this thing dead. Plus, I really don't have much healing. All I've got is my lay on fangs and...
Can you even use that on yourself?
Yes.
I have played with an all-paladin party, catfolk paladins, in which our soul-saving grace was that we could touch ourselves as a swift action. Don't diss it. It kept us alive through an entire encounter of zombie X
I think
characters.
he's laughing because of the way you worded it.
You know, I managed to go 3 games without ever getting the joke about touching people, but sure, he's breaking now.
Nim will specifically go up and around, avoiding the Elysian and other Furbies there.
Alright.
Were these all Catholic paladins?
No, well, they were catfolk paladins, thank you.
Catfolk paladins, not Catholic. Okay.
All 3 of them are catfolk paladins.
Here, just
Don't mind me.
Potato's dead.
As a bonus action, Nim will reapply his divine favor.
Go ahead and mark that down.
I don't know why those icons are so massive. They normally aren't.
It might have something to do with the size of the map. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. It was fine with the other map, but then this one, it's like super size.
I don't know. It says 70 by 70 in the description. It could be.
Rita repulsive through her
70 by 70 just means
Yeah,
how.
so I'm going to say that's can't be its resolution, but
No, that's the resolution of each square.
that might be it.
All right, I have my actual bandwidth back for some reason.
Mhm.
Yay!
Never mind, it's gone.
Alrighty.
Alright, well, I will look at this then.
I'm sorry. Quick question. How long?
It's okay. It's okay right now. But as you go into bite at the organ with your fangs, one of the Furbies jumps off from one of the pipes and just basically fills your jaws. Go ahead and roll your next attack.
What ability are you using? Because you've already had it react once.
Not this turn.
Yes?
That was last
No.
turn.
It's between each of its turns.
Yeah.
You had it react with Tato.
Nope. He missed that attack.
That was flavor text.
Yes.
Okay.
The last time that it was done was with Tato's spear teleporting from back there to up there.
Well, then there's the second attack. I assume that hits? I don't remember its
I
AC.
can't see. Yes, that does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Tato, you need to move closer. Also, I am using a Divine Smite
All right.
at level 2.
Is it a spell?
Yeah. Well, it's
Oswald is going to counterspell.
it's not quite. It's an ability of the class.
That is true.
I don't think it's quite counted as a spell.
That is true. He is not going to do so then.
What type is the Furby Organ again?
It is
I think I made it undead.
Like a mix of mechanical and undead.
construct undead.
Okay, that's right. It is construct. Okay. The organ itself is an actual construct. So yeah, there's that attack.
But it's like being powered by necrotic energy, right?
So how long is 10 minutes again? How many turns?
A
That-
lot.
Yeah.
10 minutes is like 60 turns.
This spell is
10 minutes
completely-
or 10 turns is a minute, so
Yeah.
Well, this spell's completely useless. I don't see it in any practical combat.
What
situation.
spell?
The Prayer of Healing. It requires 10 minutes to cast. I mean,
You don't use
Okay.
that in combat. That is meant to be
Hmm?
used outside of combat. Like
Like in a
after
short
this
healing
fight.
in general is meant
Yeah.
to be outside of combat.
Well, that healing. Cure wounds and
Well,
healing
not
word.
mechanically, but strategically.
What are you talking about?
Strategy of having a healer in the group, you try to get them to apply damage as much as possible instead of healing to reduce the duration of the encounter and only heal when absolutely necessary.
people begging.
Well, we kind of
a
run
tactic.
into it being necessary
offense.
quite often.
No
Yes,
offense. After my
which-
first turn,
No, you
everyone
have done
pretty much
quite
went down
well.
to 20 damage.
Hey, we're facing a boss here. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to. I'm saying. This is
Alright,
general strategy. Keep going.
The organ is going to haunting melody. Those
Our
pains
friend
my
from
soul.
what happened to the friend from Velden Camp?
We're going to do that in a moment because he's going to use a legendary action. Directly after your turn, Zim. Or
Okay.
Nim, of course. Come on, scroll a little bit more up. Okay. That'll do. Could everyone please give me a dexterity check?
Check or saving?
Check or save?
Check.
I can make a check. Except I can't.
Alright, Zale, you fail.
Sorry,
Mhm.
what was it?
I just heard a noise. I'll be right back.
Which roll? Which?
Dexterity check.
Oh.
Silver is going to fail as well.
Yeah,
Shinzi is going to fail.
Let's ask the heavy-bladed, semi-tanky healer to jump.
And Azeroth is going to fail.
Damn it.
Oh god.
I have a roll from everyone but Elysian.
Going.
Azeroth rolled a save instead of a check.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, I'm supposed to roll a check too.
Yes.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, it's just the check.
Oh, yay!
All right. Shenzi, Silver, and Zale fail. As they are pushed 20 feet back. Unfortunately, it does mean that Silver is going back over the cliff.
Back from the Oregon would not be that direction.
All right. Let's see. You're starting there, so 1.
Going from here, the
2,
most
3.
direct line would put him this way. More in
I
that direction.
believe smacking directly into Zale, perhaps.
Except that Zale moves back at the same time, so
Yeah.
Zale
That
is
is true.
off screen with Gib at present.
I have no idea what it was, but everyone's fine.
Everyone got knocked back, but no one got knocked off. The
Yeah,
only
that
person
is
knocked up-
weird. Like, okay, so Zale, did you move yourself yet?
I had moved myself, somebody moved me back.
Okay.
am
I get like
technically
1
off
second
map.
of good- Okay. Silver, Zale, and Shenzi are going to all take some damage as well. Basically, she's off map as well. Kind of knocked back in the passageway.
Cry. You
I can see where my brick was now.
Which
Is the brick
ability
still
did
there?
you
Zim?
use?
The
Everything
cacophonic pulse. I've
That
already used
also
the...
impacts the Furby swarms.
Yes,
Every creature.
yes.
Okay. Most of these abilities are specifically, they also hit the swarms.
Yes. If you could not tell, I'm trying to basically work through a tunnel here.
Yeah. Fours across the board.
Wonderful. And now the Furbies. Eventually.
Here, I'll get him.
Okay. And with them, they're actually going to move towards the organ. Should they fail, of course. Which
Yeah,
I'm
they
pretty sure.
failed.
All right. Move them all closer to the organ, please.
So
Closer or away? I thought they failed the check, so why did they get pulled back?
It's the organ gets to choose per creature. There you go.
All right. Oh, that's excellent. It chose the exact creature I wanted. As it is now the friend from Veldenkamp's turn, as he emerges from the cavern wall, having been basically moved there prior.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
I thought you cut out.
Here. So it's moving back on.
Yes.
It will go back to... I'll get it here. It will go back to where it was and attack. Actually, what does this do again? Oh wait, it takes the damage. Okay. Well, then it will move here and attack. That would be a hit with its ghostly touch. The friend from Veldenkamp reaches into one of the pipes and just yanks out one of the Furbies, crushing it in its grasp. And that's it for the friend. Azeroth.
Okay, well then. We're gonna have to heal you. You're gonna die. Well then, I got to heal Lysian too, because he's 10 hit points away from death. And you guys make... Okay.
Think of this like Final Fantasy, especially the earlier ones, where the healer literally did nothing but heal the entire time.
This game's not meant to do that sort of thing. Fine. You know what I'm gonna do just for you?
Give me a stoodle boop.
Oh,
You're literally outside of his range for that. As large as your little presence really is.
Okay, I'm going to open to...
I mean, he'd have to jump up to do it.
And I'm going to max this baby out on 3 dice. Damn, that sucked. Oh well. Well, that was a waste of a level 3 spell. Have fun with that.
Well, it brought Silver back up from the brink of death to just moderately irritated.
How do you think I feel? My god demands I smash things, not to babysit all day.
You're not wrong. Like he's probably screaming in your head right now. It's right there. Smash it!
Dover, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Oh,
I just tried to basically restart TeamViewer.
okay.
Problem perhaps solved.
Maybe.
It looks a lot faster now.
Maybe it's TeamViewer's end.
It's probably that, yeah.
I wish we had a better solution, but I'll try looking one up later.
Yeah.
Make what stop, Dragon Kobold?
Probably the song Tato linked.
I can't look at it. Unfortunately, I can't look, so I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
Chuckle my chuckle.
It's 11 by Hitchhiker, which is Korean. It's K-pop.
Oh god.
Ah. Then yes.
That's
it's
all
probably-
you have to say.
It came up. Nothing.
Are you still away, Tato?
No.
You're marked as away.
Weird. Internet's doing a hiccup.
It's a weird song.
It's K-pop. Kind of comes with the territory.
I don't think that... Is that what you're talking about there?
Yeah.
Alright, what are you doing?
That's
Spectre guy, please get the F out of my way.
You can probably just stab right through him, honestly. I mean, on the side, he is a size category smaller than you.
stab over him.
Who says I'm gonna stab?
Now, if we all go according to the math principle, he moved slower, bigger.
I have an idea. I'm gonna run with
Fits
it.
to fall over and crush the organ beneath you.
Silva?
It is larger than it appears
Yeah.
in the mirror.
What are you doing?
It is the end of your turn, Azeroth, correct?
Yeah, I already ended my turn.
Ah.
I can't do much else.
As from around the ground, just surrounding the organ, a densely packed, almost like a wall, starts to emerge and clamber over the organ. The individual bodies and body parts are packed so tightly that you can't even see through it, as it almost continues to writhe with with an unnatural vigor. Zale, it's your turn.
To clarify, this is a wall of Furbies which have arisen.
Yes.
Does it block line of sight to the organ?
Yes.
Thank
You can still
so
hear the organ
very much
from
for that.
within.
Fortunately for me, Zale's choice is simple. He is currently enraged. I'm not going back. No. So we'll go throw some Eldritch Blasts at the wall of Furby.
Go ahead.
It's the broadside of a barn. I mean,
It's not going to miss, but as you fire towards it, you knock off quite a good portion of Furbies. You see a very brief, maybe a fraction of a second hole into the actual organ proper
could I?
as it closes up in a fraction of a
This
second.
is 2 beams fired with the same spell. Could I offer some sort of roll to manage to slip it through?
I would like to point out, is this the bubble?
Yes.
Okay, so it is on the outside. It is 10 feet away. So it is right in front of you, Elysian. It's kind of going through you, Tato.
It's gonna feel weird.
It's not directly going through. It's basically specifically designed so they have to, we have to get, melee range to actually do anything now.
Could you high or low, Tato? I'm going to roll a D100.
Low.
I realized it didn't actually say choices. Low, you're going to stay outside. High, you're going to be inside. You're going to be on the inside.
Good.
I don't
Or is
think
it- is it-
Tato
is-
would be able to actually fit inside of it right now.
Then they tangle around me or whatever.
You are stuck within the wall, basically being surrounded by, we'll say, 2 swarms.
That's fine. This fits into my plan.
There we go.
I has bad feeling.
All right. With the other bolt, it strikes very closely to it, and through it you can actually see Nim and the specter for a brief moment before the hole closes up again.
Unable to advance thus far,
All right.
and that is my turn.
Excellent.
Actually, you know what? Bonus action. He's going to conjure his Shadow Blade.
Very well. Elysian. Your turn as
Yay!
Zale, in your hand, almost coalescing from the air, is a
It's a
blade
short
about this.
fencing saber, essentially.
Okay. Yeah,
It matches the packed blade that he will draw as well.
and the pack blade drawing that is a free action.
With better movement, yes.
Oh, so I have the Shadow Dagger again?
No, Zale has a Shadow Dagger. Fuck you.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It is your turn, Elysian.
Okay, I'm going to back up away from the wall. Then I'm going to take my anger out on the Furby swarm that tried to kill me multiple times with my magic bow.
You are unable to actually attack them as they are within the sort of bubble shield.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I misinterpreted. I thought the shield was the Furbies themselves.
Well, it is Furbies, but you can certainly attack the sort of swarming shield. The Furbies composing the shield itself have almost been repurposed from the fallen remains of what you've fought and various other bits of
Detritus.
Yeah, detritus that are just kind of lying around this podium.
Well, I get.
Alright.
I guess I'll try and kill whatever ones I can.
All right. As you continue to fire at the bubble, the arrow arcing through and actually passing through the other side, striking into one of the cavern walls off in the distance with a somewhat bright spark. Is that going to be your turn?
Yeah.
All right, it's the organ's turn. Who's first?
Tato's a big target.
That's true. Tato, could you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Yeah.
I've got
Game
it
doesn't
right
even
back.
start. That doesn't even hit. Stunning turn by the organ. Skeleton Gib running away. Tato, your turn.
Beto's going to drop his spear and grab at the pipes that are holding up the Furbies.
Sure. As you sort of reach forward,
gonna
struggling as you're kind of working against this swarming.
If waterfalls float up,
force.
that's what this would feel like.
Yes, you're basically walking through
Hairy and
a
bony and
vicious
deep and
current.
clawing at your arms.
I get advantage to my strength check
Alright.
because of my size.
As you reach out and actually grab at one of the pipes, the strange sort of tarnished metal actually burns in your hand. As you can visibly see trails of smoke from where your hand is currently touching the pipe. Could you give me a dexterity saving throw, please?
I'm wearing gauntlets.
That's true. No, it would burn through.
Oh wow, it's that hot?
It's not really a temperature, it's more of a magical thing.
Shit.
So it kind of just goes right through it. You do get that brief moment of sort of realization that something is wrong to draw your hand back if you wish.
Dex or sleight of hand?
If you are wearing gauntlets, then I wouldn't require that check. If you weren't, then I probably would.
Okay. So I just lose my gauntlets for now.
Not really.
Because-
You can see that there's some singeing and some tempering. Like the temperature was, or the sort of energy was high enough to actually change the color of the metal very briefly. As you pull them away, you can feel that sort of a magical heat dissipate. Some of it coming through to your palm, but none of it really harming you.
All right. Well, for my bonus action, oh wait, no, my bonus action will just be to take out my longsword.
All right.
Just the longsword on its own.
It's
holding
very
it
long
in
right
flames.
now.
Yes, it's extremely long.
Very long sword. Sorry.
Tell me, is it broad as well?
It would be fairly broad. Shenzi's turn.
And silvery.
Yeah.
Shenzi is
What?
going to. So we got the bubble going. She could get just inside.
All right. She's going to push through it.
Yes.
All right.
And then Actually, better idea. She won't do that. She will move over to here. And I think it might be a better idea if she casts false life on herself. Let's see, what is that? How many spell slots? Yeah, she will cast it at second level. So let's do this. Really? The minimum? Well, the second level adds another 5 to it, so she now has 10 temporary HP.
There you go.
And that will be all for her.
Legendary action by the Furby Organ to attack Nim. As I go up, attack. And misses. Silver's turn.
And for the record, Tato, the organ is still bigger than you. As
I'm
a
aware of
whole.
that.
Still,
Okay.
The idea was to yank out the pipes holding the Furbies themselves, not yanking the entire organ down.
the Furbies are kind of clambering all over the organ, so taking one of the pipes out would probably help in the sort of notion that the organ needs those pipes, but it wouldn't help the whole Furby swarming problem that much.
Silver is going to move here, pushing through the bubble and attacking.
Go ahead and roll to attack.
Ooh!
It's going to sacrifice a Furby to nullify that.
Alright, so it's sacrificing...
As one of the Furbies in the wall actually falls down and, like the other one filling your jaws, fills the jaws of Silver. Basically sacrifice its own body to prevent the attack.
That would sacrifice one of the existing Furby swarms.
Actually, it would do the damage equivalent to that Furby swarm.
Yeah, it's
So
one
go
of the
ahead and roll damage with that.
which one are you using?
I'm going to use the one to the south.
Alright.
They're both soft, though.
Well then, let me roll the card, or pull the card.
Make sure to re-roll the attack to reset the
Roll it
tracker
Yeah.
at some point.
Alright. This would be piercing. Find an opening. Maximum triple damage. And you have advantage on attacks against the target for 2d4 plus 2 rounds.
Good luck finding it amongst all the other Furbies.
Well, I'm probably... So that's, there's the normal damage. So...
Alright.
That would be 15 times 3, so 45.
That would kill it. Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw for Silver. And that is number 3. Does not make it. As my bandwidth drops again, I'm going to restart. I'm just going to
Alright.
reconnect.
I'll go ahead and... Oh, okay.
I I've got a little bit before it just kind of dies. All right.
This one will not jump from target to target.
Yes, it's just the one.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 1s. Come on. As
He's not doing so well, so I'm okay with this.
No, I mean, even if he drops, it still has death saving throws before he's dead. Somebody in our group surely has a healer's kit.
plus he's a steed, right? So he just kind of reappears whenever you want him to, right? The summon steed thing, or is it something
To
else?
look that
Usually
up.
there's a
That is
between,
what
I'm not sure about fifth.
Oh, summon steed. Yeah,
find
basically
speed.
familiar. So yeah, that's going to be the end of Silver's turn. Another legendary action. It's going to attack. He's actually going to attack Silver. And miss, of course. Furby Swarm's turn is going to attack the person with like the highest AC. And hit! With a 19.
What?
What?
It's attacking you, Nim.
It hit me?
It rolled a 19. And did 3 damage.
I am not happy with it.
You got hit before.
Honestly,
Well,
they
the
did
world
not care
doesn't
about your
revolve
unhappiness.
around what you find happy.
Exactly. Nim, your turn.
Actually,
You got
it
hit
technically
with the
does, but...
Except that it can't care because it's a construct. It has no feelings. Except rage and hate and malevolence.
Nim will... he is running out of spells. What does this
Yeah, I'm
do
gonna hit
again? No, that's not really worth it right now. Hey, he's just gonna attack.
Alright, go ahead and roll to attack.
I
Hit.
assume that hits. Really?
Now you know what it feels like.
Ugh!
Talk shit, get hit.
Well, I'm gonna bite it again.
It hits. If it does it again, I'm gonna buy a lottery ticket. Ooh, 2 1s. That's good.
Well, at least I got... It wasn't all ones the second time.
Mhm.
That is it for his turn. Friend from
It
Building
is
Temple
the-
attack.
Alright. And rolled a nat 1.
Believe that this would count as a magic.
It's
wait, no,
technically
it's-
a melee spell attack.
Yeah.
Time for a magical flop.
I'm trying to decide if I would... I think that would probably be considered a natural attack.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Snap out of it. If you are transformed of your own free will, like druids in wild shape, you return to your original form. Well, he's not, so...
What was he summoned from? Was he summoned from like a gem or something?
He lives inside... Basically, it's like a genie, kind of. A genie in its lamp. He
That
can
would-
actually come out on his own volition, but he's not transformed.
I mean, his normal state is squished into a lamp, so this is kind of transforming into a larger state, you could argue. We'll see if
Well, then
he
you-
keeps concentration on that.
But he didn't
roll
do
a-
it. Technically, it was Shenzi that called him out.
Consider him a conjured creature, I would say.
Yeah.
And he is banished back to the lamp.
Or the coin in this case.
Yes.
Yes, I think that would be the case.
Okay.
As with a strange sort of resonance after touching something within that organ, he sort of warps, wobbles, and almost collapses in on himself. A thin stream of smoke tracing its way through the air back into the lantern / lamp.
Coin.
Coin, yeah. I believe it would be Azeroth's turn then. Azeroth?
Here. Just give me a second, my dogs, if you can hear him. Yeah.
Okay.
He has the best sense of timing. Anyway, well, what shall I do? Because I'm not gonna waste another level 2 spells on you guys. The thing, how dead close to is it? I think it's time I go in for an attack. Do you guys think you can sit back and not die?
Maybe.
Depends on who you mean by.
I mean the two that are closest to death right now that seem to want to get closer.
Oh, okay, sure.
Line myself up right here. Haha. And I'm going to attack.
What are you gonna do?
Oh.
Alright, that hits.
Oh,
Go
wow.
ahead and roll damage.
It's a swarm. You're kind of guaranteed to just smack at least one of them.
There.
As you swing your Morning Star, smashing at least 2 into the ground.
I don't know what the name of the RPG was, but there was this one game just dodged every. It was so annoying. Anyways.
Morrowind?
No, it was a small RPG, probably obscure because it was popular. But
Okay. Is that going to be your turn?
Sure. Yeah, let that end it.
Alright. The bubble sort of succumbs to all of your attacks and thins out to the point where it might as well not be there, as some of them are flung into the air behind you all, coalescing into a swarm directly just around you, Elysian. That's number 4? Yeah, number 4.
No.
As swarm number 4 raises from the dead. As the effects of the bubble are no longer apparent. Zale, it's your turn.
Well, thank you for ruining what I was planning to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I'd like you to know you're being appreciated.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was going to use that bubble as cover to hide again. Presumably one can see the organist at this point again.
Yes. What are you planning to do?
Charge right up and shank him with both of my blades.
Go ahead and try.
Exactly. He has the movement for
I
it. No
would
enemies
like-
directly adjacent.
I would like to
Bonus
point
action,
out...
disengage.
Can you guys hear me?
Mhm.
Yes.
I did point this out earlier. I would like to remind you that the organist, the player, is still surrounded by Furbies.
Zale, if anybody wants to make a sense motive check, is not in his right mind at present.
I was just making sure you were aware.
I am so aware, and I
Okay.
expect this to fail. He would not have summoned his Shadow Blade if he did not intend to go after the creature inside the construct, because constructs themselves are impervious to psychic damage.
Go ahead and roll to attack.
Why do you call him
First-
a creature? I mean, he's your buddy. You
Because
both
that is
killed
the official term for any living being when in combat context.
But he's your buddy.
He's a vampire.
All right. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Yes, sir.
As you reach forward, thrusting forward with the knife, you time it and so that there is a gap at just the right moment. Your knife passes through the gap, but just before it's about to enter what looks to be his side, the gap closes rapidly and violently, pinning your wrist almost up to your forearm. There's a brief, almost a crunching noise as you feel your arm and wrist get wrenched in the wrong direction before you're able to pull it out. As you retrieve it, it feels there's a dull pounding pain inside of your arm. You're going to take only 3 points of bludgeoning damage, as your arm just really wasn't designed to bend that way. The
Shall we
Furby is
assume
in
he
the shield.
staggers back 5 feet or so as he is released?
The arm isn't broken or
2 feet or so.
sprained, as far as you can tell at the moment.
But it
could
hurt
just be
like hell.
adrenaline. Yeah.
So he will toss the Shadow Blade at the aforementioned.
That was an Eldritch Blast.
Yes, it was, but it was also a 3. And it'd
As-
help if I had scrolled down to Shadow Blade.
So do you throw the Shadow Blade then?
Actually, I remember why. It's actually up here. Yes. Throwing of the Shadow Blade doesn't matter. Practically the same roll.
As it basically disappears into the... Actually, no, it would basically impale one of the Furbies, who just basically jumps in the way of the blade as it streaks towards the player. You can see the Furby go limp, sort of twitching before falling back into this mass and almost being crushed in the constantly undulating tide of them, as the knife also disappears within.
Cool. That is Zale's turn. I mean, he's screaming somewhat incoherently, but I don't think anyone could make out what he's actually saying.
The organ is going to make an attack with its last legendary action. It is going to attack you, Zale, as you try to stab him.
Is he screaming in the same accent?
And it's going to miss.
That would require a perception check.
Elysian, your turn.
Yay! I'm being surrounded by Furbies again. Yay! I'm going to stab them all
You know, if it
until
was
they
way
die forever with my rapier.
Very nice. That's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. As they're crawling up from the ground, having just been flung there from the furry bubble, some of them are basically impaled on your rapier as you're stabbing them, just sitting on the ground.
1 second, let me look at something.
And there we have it. The
I
Furby
like-
Kebab.
No.
I'm sorry, did you say that was your turn?
No. I'm just looking at sneak attack to make sure I can do it.
You would be able to, yes. You do have your
Yeah.
teammate right next to you.
Yeah. I'm just making sure because I remember one of the wordings of sneak attack being only if it's like targeting another enemy of it, but no, it's that.
It's if you have another person within 5 feet of the target,
Yeah.
which
Another
Shenzi
enemy
is.
within 5 turn. Yeah,
Or
so
with-
it counts. I
Yeah.
just want to make sure. Now my
Yes.
turn is over.
All right. It is now the organ's turn. And we're going to start with the train. As I refresh this again.
You know, Azeroth has the most health. That would be the logical starting point.
I don't know.
And he's also right there, front and center of the group.
Hmm.
And
He's
next
going
to a
to
Furby
go
Swan, which would
after-
resonate.
Gonna go after Nim. Could you give me a Constitution saving throw, Nim?
Oh, please let me succeed. Please, dear RNGesus. Yes!
For the record, his name is Bob.
Excellent. It's actually refreshing. All right. The train doesn't even start.
Choo choo. Oosh.
As he misses the silver as well. As another lackluster turn passes. Gib is running.
See Gib run.
Tato, your turn.
I will use my longsword to cleave as many of the pipes holding up the Furbies as possible.
All right. Go ahead and roll to attack.
Am I attacking the organ?
Yes.
I, for some reason, do not have my two-handed strike for this. Give
Are you
me
playing?
one moment, please.
So if you want to do a two-handed strike with a longsword, you basically change it from a D8 to a D10 damage.
Yeah, I know. I just need to edit it.
Oh, my phone started playing music.
Wait, are these Furbies undead?
Technically, yes.
But also technically no.
So turn undead would be useless on them. That was a question.
I'm sorry?
I said, so turn undead would be useless on them?
You could certainly try.
All right, my apologies.
No problem.
Does a 13
Alright.
hit?
That is going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Wonderful. This gets an extra 1d4 damage.
Yes, because you are enlarged. So
Yep.
1d10 plus modifier. Ooh! That's a 10.
Yeah. Plus an extra 1d4. I'll roll that. 1.
Alright. "12 points of damage as one of the larger pipes is actually almost sheared off by your strike. It is going to, out of anger, attack you.
Is that like a reaction?
I'm sorry, not yet.
Okay.
Do you have a
I
second
get-
attack?
Yes, I do. I'm going to
ahead.
do it. I'm going to do it again.
Getting ahead of myself.
That's okay. I took an extra long turn.
15, that's a hit. Ooh, the opposite. The real
But
opposite.
still a 1.
All right. The organ seems to only be working through a use of basically just arcane energies at this point. Arcane energies, a little bit of spit, and a lot of hope. As it is actually going to attack you now and miss.
Give me a moment here, Dova. Everyone,
Yeah.
please give a perception check, please.
Oh god.
Which is that?
Taito never gave a perception for determining accents, by the way.
Oh, wow.
That's
Pretty
because the
consistent from
DM
that.
was still talking and I didn't want to.
You could have just rolled.
Oh,
Shenzi is oblivious, but for some reason the highly distracted Zale is not.
I noticed all things.
As the organ is seeming more and more damaged, the vision above seems to waver a little bit. Though it's more, you can also see the undead outside starting to mill about more aimlessly instead of directly marching forward and attacking the various pockets of defense in the towns, instead of so much, directed attacks. That is all.
Shenzi's turn.
Everybody that rolled 15 or above noticed that, by the way.
So Elysian and Tato did not.
And Shenzi.
She's not here.
But she also didn't notice. Still relevant.
Alright, so Shenzi's turn. She is going to Necrobolt the Furby Swarm on Elysian.
Yay! I'm saved by necro boops.
Very few things can be hit with a 9.
Oh no.
Yeah, that will hit.
Fortunately, swarms tend to be one of them.
Shenzi basically touches you for a moment and just sparks forth with these bolts of blackish purplish energy. Very narrowly missing you, Elysian, as she's basically shooting down at your feet.
Oh.
Frying quite a few of the... Yeah. Another legendary action from the organ to attack. One of these will hit someday. Silver's turn.
Silver will do what Silver does best, and pretty much the only thing he can do. Bite.
All right. That'll hit.
For max damage.
God damn it, Silver. Well, I don't actually know what's about to happen, so.
Yeah, he doesn't. As Silver's bite latches into one of the last remaining Furbies attached directly to the organ, the others begin to screech, many of them pulling up from the depths below, surrounding the platform, climbing over all of you, as Oswald begins to casually walk out of the chamber, followed
I'd like
by
to
more
fold up the
fees.
sheet music first.
Oswald will casually just...
Can I use my heroic action?
No.
Damn it.
Oswald will casually pick up he'll stand up, gather up his sheet music, and just walking past all of you as these Furbies are holding you all down to the ground. Just too many of them for you to be able to move or resist at all.
Zale struggles violently, if ineffectually.
Elysian tries to stab stuff with his rapier.
As I'd like to turn back and look to Zale, like as I'm in the tunnel, I'd say, perhaps another time, perhaps another venue. But hear this. The king in copper shall not be stopped by such a thing. And I continue walking.
As Oswald escapes, leaving through the tunnel behind him, the Furbies follow after him after a good couple of minutes pass. While they are holding you all down, those that happen to have a view of the ceiling will notice the view pan straight to the King in Copper himself. He,
Tato immediately flips him off.
again, you
Tato's arm is
cannot
pinned.
move.
I can't even move my hand.
Nope.
Oh.
They have 3 birds specifically sitting on each of your middle fingers.
He saw this one coming.
There
He
are
prepared.
there are hundreds of Furbies in the room right now. Maybe even thousands. They are all just pulling up from the chasms below, following Oswald out of here.
The organ music has stopped, correct?
Yes.
Zale calms.
The King in
It's like-
Copper vanishes from his hillside. The view pans back to Holberg, at the entrance to the sewers where you went under the city and into this chamber. He is not happy, and he is coming for you. On that note, thank you everybody for joining us this evening. Next week, we shall see how the party handles the King in Copper directly. What was it that?
Goodbye, everybody. Is this a good time to say goodbye?
Yes.
Bye.
Yeah, okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all so much for joining. Please do remember to follow and subscribe to the channel. Those of you that are able, please consider supporting the channel here on Twitch. We do also have a YouTube channel where the video recordings are uploaded. If you're watching this recording on YouTube after it was uploaded, we'll probably be starting the live stream in just a moment, so get over to Twitch. Otherwise, thank you all so much for joining us this evening, and I bid you all adieu.
Yeah.
Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Now I can say goodbye. Okay.